Hey guys, welcome back to Sports Tea. Tonight we have another exciting show ahead of us. But before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would also like to take a moment to do a few shout outs. I want to shout out all the Sports Tea supporters, but in particular, my guy Jeffrey, Nino, Malik from the podcast No Prisoners, Funky Town, of course, T-Bert the Twin, Alexander X, It's Not That Serious, Courtney, as well as Lynette. Thank you all for supporting the channel. I appreciate you so much. We've had some really great engagement as of late, and it's been so much fun for me. So we are actually going to start with the WNBA, not the Lakers. Okay. We will not have another 4-hour show, at least not tonight. So we can do that. We can do marathon shows, but not tonight. I have to wake up super early. So we're going to talk about the WNBA first so that I can at least get through that topic and we can really just kind of move through the show. My plan for tonight is to do like 3, maybe 4 phone calls on a particular segment if you guys are really into it. But the goal is to really kind of just get through all 4 topics tonight. So I hope that sounds good to you guys. Like I said, I'm really excited to start. Smash the like button and subscribe to Sports Tea if you haven't done so already. Okay, so we will start with WNBA tonight. And oh my God, like so much to recap here. What was it? The last week, okay, the Liberty, they went up 2-0 on the Aces, and it was just incredible for New York fans. We were super excited, and it was just great basketball on display. Asia Wilson was super quiet in the first half of the first 2 games, actually, and like game 4, she really came alive. That was where we saw her take over. The Aces were truly fighting for their lives. They did not want to get swept. They did not want to get eliminated. It was just truly amazing to watch. Like I said, Asia Wilson, she took over the game from the first possession. She hit an early 3-pointer in the first quarter, and they were rolling from there. It really gave her, like the whole team, some confidence to just go completely off, and they really did. Plum, she dropped 20 points. They played their best basketball as a team. They played their best basketball as a team since the playoffs even started in this game. I really want to shout out the Aces for this effort. The Sun versus the Lynx, that's been exciting as well. But sadly, in game 5, the Aces, they had been eliminated. So they were eliminated. Asia Wilson, she talked about what she needed to do after game 4. And I want to play that soundbite for you because it was just so inspiring to hear. And it's just not a surprise that she's a unanimous WNBA MVP. So I'm going to play this for you guys. Okay. One moment. Oh no, that's not the one.
Wilson really set the tone tonight in that first half, Holly Rowe.
Well, Asia, you said when you woke up this morning, you felt good. How did you set that tone early in the first half? Becky said she was trying to take you out, and you would not sit down.
You can't sit down in a game like this. This is an elimination game. I cannot sit down. That's looked like giving up. That looked like quitting to me. So I knew I had to come and be just who I needed to be for my team out the gate and make sure that we understood what we needed to do here at home.
You got the support that you needed from your guards tonight. They were all on the same cylinder. What did that feel like out there?
It felt like us. It felt like us. It was just a matter of time that we all started clicking, but we got to sustain this. This is just one game. This is really nothing. We got to continue to go and grow as we try to go to the next level. So they did what they were supposed to do. They came to work and they worked out.
The change to me that showed up the biggest was the defense. It was turned with the T all the way up. What felt different?
Wanting to actually play it, understanding, and we can't get times where our backs against the wall for us to now play defense. Defense is going to win us a championship. So we have to keep that mindset every single game. And you saw it tonight. We wanted to play defense. We wanted to guard, and we took stuff personal. And that's the way it is. That's the way the game goes. So I'm very proud of how my team showed up today.
Thanks, Asia.
Yeah.
You heard her. She said sitting down felt like quitting to me. She didn't even want to take a break. She wanted to play the entire game. And I love that mindset. The women are still playing the very best basketball that we're watching. We are witnessing the best basketball when we watch the WNBA. When we hear stars like that, I don't hear that in the NBA anymore. I don't see the will to compete like that. But they did get knocked out. So they were eliminated come game 5. They couldn't keep that same intensity. And I knew that there was a good chance they were going to lose game 5 just because of the fact that the Aces really, and I'm sorry, not game 5, game 4. So it was game 4 that they were eliminated. They were able to steal game 3, but they just didn't come out the same. Asia Wilson, she only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter. That wasn't going to win. Then the rest of the starting 5 couldn't buy a shot for the whole damn game. I don't know what the hell was wrong with Jackie Young. Chelsea Gray is a cone. Okay, let's just start with that. She's a cone on defense. Her shooting form is so poor. She's just not playing the way that she once was. I'm not going to call her the point guard anymore. I don't want to hear that. Yes, she can pass the ball really well. And yes, I think she's a greater passer than Caitlin Clark. But she's just not, we should not be dedicating that many minutes to her. Becky Hammon, she really, for me, her coaching and her lack thereof was on display in the series. She was outcoached. She did not have the right substitution patterns. She went way too small. The Liberty is a big team. They have big guards. They have big girls down low. They needed to go bigger. So putting in that girl Megan, she's got the height. She can defend down low. She can help them. And she only played 7 minutes. So I think that was a big miss, especially since the rest of the team weren't knocking down any shots. So go for more high percentage shots. Why are you shooting so many threes? I think Jackie Young was 1 for 6. Chelsea Gray was, I think she hit 1 shot as well. That's not going to do it. So, I just want to take a moment. I see Ticket TV in the chat. Oh my gosh, shout out to Ticket TV. You have been killing it with the Bronny takes. Oh my gosh, I've been laughing my ass off. But shout out to Man Down. I see you in here, Mel. But like I was saying, WNBA has been on fire this season. We just watched the Aces get knocked out and eliminated. We were hoping for a three-peat. I was particularly hoping to see that. It's just, another year of greatness for them. They had a challenging year. There was lots of adversity for the Aces. They were up and down this season, very inconsistent. And fast forward to the next series, Sun versus the Lynx, that was a really great series. I thought that there was a chance that the Sun would be swept. The way they came out in game 1 and completely took the Lynx out of their game. Nafisa Collier, she wasn't shut down, but she had to get very tough shots. And the Sun made it very difficult for them to beat them. So game 1 they took, and then the next 2 games, the Lynx were able to win. And it was just that they weren't going to have so many bad games in a row. Nobody could buy a shot from the Lynx in game 1. Then 2 and 3, everybody was just clicking, hitting their shots. Their shots were falling. They also play really great defense. So when you have the number 1 and 2 defensive teams playing each other, it just makes for a really great series. So fast forward to game 4, everybody thought that the Sun were going to get eliminated. I know that I did. I thought that it was over for them because they just don't have enough offense. But game 4, they really killed it. What they were able to do and how they were able to, just take the Lynx out of their game. DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, I take issue to 2 women being married or engaged on a team. Like, how does that work? How does that not mess up the chemistry on the team? But I got to tell you, they play great basketball together. It's kind of like a mom and a dad. Alyssa Thomas is sort of like the enforcer, the protector on their team. So she's able to motivate them through her own resilience, mental toughness, and physical toughness. She's playing so many different roles. The point forward, she's able to collect those triple doubles, and she's really making them meaningful. I don't like the point forward role. I think that when a player is in that position, you have to win because they're gouging points, rebound, and assists. So I don't particularly like it, but she does a really great job of truly doing what it takes to win in that moment. And Stephanie White is a brilliant coach. She makes so many adjustments that you don't know when Alyssa Thomas is going to be in that point forward role, or if it's going to be DeWanna Bonner, who's Fantastic ball handler, shooter. She comes up very big for them in the fourth quarter, as she did in this last game. She hit big shots for them. So I liken her game to Kevin Durant. I think she's an incredible player. She's also top 5 all-time WNBA scorer in the league. So, it's just really amazing to watch her play. I do want to talk about the Rookie of the Year for WNBA. Was Caitlin Clark snubbed for this award? I mean, she got the award, but now the question is that whether or not she was snubbed for unanimous Rookie of the Year. I don't believe it was a snub because Angel Reese got 1 vote. So what? Caitlin Clark won. So all the Clark fans just need to calm down. Calm down. It's not that serious. She's going to be okay. It's not a record she broke. She would be the 5th player in history to get unanimous Rookie of the Year. So what? She didn't get that. Why are we crying for Caitlin Clark every day? She's not even, she's out. She's pushed out. Okay. She was eliminated. She was swept. And you're out here, Shannon Sharp, crying for her on Nightcap with Ocho, creating and perpetuating the race war that's going on between Caitlin Clark fans as well as Angel Reese fans. And I'm going to play for you what he said. And, on Man Down, we refer to him as Ms. Netta, but he was just out here acting like a gossiping woman over the WNBA and just going crazy over Caitlin Clark, completely crashing out. This one wasn't that bad, but I'm going to play it for you guys.
Caitlin Clark was 1 vote shy of being a unanimous WNBA Rookie of the Year. She received 66 of the 67 votes from the panel of national reporters and sports writers. The long vote cast for Clark went in favor of Angel Reese. The long vote cast not in favor of Clark went to Angel Reese. The vote kept Clark from becoming the WNBA's 5th ever unanimous Rookie.
Who was the voter? Do you know? Anybody know?
Oh, it's gonna get out. They're gonna find out. It's just like somebody that left Ken Griffey Jr. off the ballot when it came to Hall of Fame. They took it. They're like, bro, you gonna leave the guy off the ballot? You ain't even said okay. You just say, you left him off the ballot.
I mean, those situations like that, you think it's probably something personal, huh?
I mean, I don't know how you come to the conclusion that she wasn't the unanimous MVP. She got a team into the playoffs when they hadn't been to the playoffs, I think, since 2016 and 2017. Led them in scoring. She led the rookies in scoring. She led them in assists. She averaged like 6 rebounds a game. She set record for scoring, rebound, assists. I mean, three pointers. Let's not get into it because all it's going to do is people got their this and all that. Right. All I know, when they got eliminated from the playoffs, the attendance dropped, the ratings dropped. Now I wouldn't need to know because it's the old guard and it's this and that. So why? So what's the reason now? Because they try to give you every other reason. Right. Why? So now give me the reasons why. She's gone. Is the old guard still watching? Why are these fans? If the WNBA is more, it is, and I get it. Why aren't people watching?
You say the ratings have dropped since Fever have been eliminated?
Yes. Look at the attendance when the Fever play your favorite team, and look at the attendance when they don't. Only the Aces sell out every game. They got 4 Olympians. They got Asia Wilson, unanimous MVP. They got Kelsey Plum, who was the #1 overall pick. Asia Wilson was the #1 overall pick. Jackie Young was on the Olympic team. Chelsea Gray was on the Olympic team. I don't get it. You think I'm so happy for payback Pat McAfee because what he did is to show what could be done, what is possible.
Yeah.
Why would I ever be mad at that?
Oh my gosh. How was Caitlin Clark snubbed? And first of all, like, is Shannon Sharpe stupid? Where does he get his information from? The Aces versus the Liberty was record-breaking ratings and attendance. So what the hell is he talking about? I don't like that we're making things up. We're making things up about the WNBA. Before Caitlin Clark came, the WNBA was experiencing an upward trend of growth for the past 3 years. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not the players in the WNBA's fault that you weren't watching until Caitlin Clark came, until Caitlin Clark allowed for you to get more clicks and to create this sort of clickbait. Shannon Sharpe is a complete sellout, and I get it. You're going to go in the direction that the algorithm goes, but damn, do you need to do that, Shannon? Like, since leaving Skip, he's just changed so much, and I absolutely can't stand him. I'm tired of him. You need to worry about not going accidentally live to fake, actually being with a woman. I don't know why you had to make that up. Cam and Mace are right. You made that up, Shannon. You went live on purpose. That wasn't an accident. You went live accidentally on purpose. Never seen anything like it. All for clicks, for subscribers. Talking about that's my Michelle. Nobody believes you. You need more people, Shannon. You're out here gossiping like a woman. It's a lot. But, I think the fact that people are calling, and the fact that Shannon would be calling for that person that, who knows? Did they really want Angel Reese to be Rookie of the Year? So they gave her a vote because they felt like, hey, she deserved it. She balled out all season long. And I mean, she did. Caitlin Clark, yes, she helped get her team to the playoffs, but she didn't necessarily lead them there. I'm not buying that. Aaliyah Boston is the best player on that team. Kelsey Mitchell is the second best player on that team. When they run the offense through Aaliyah Boston, they're winning games. Coming out of that Olympic break, the defense eased up on Caitlin Clark. She was allowed to do these ridiculous shots from the half court. She was allowed to just run over defenders. She's allowed to push off an offensive foul. That's what Caitlin Clark has been allowed to do, especially coming out of the Olympic break. The refs didn't tee her up, so she was able to escape a 1-game suspension. And look, I don't want to see her get teed up. I thought some of the technical fouls that she got throughout the season were unnecessary, but calm down. She doesn't need to be all these things, Shannon. She won Rookie of the Year. Kill the noise. Stop perpetuating race wars. Stop online bullying. That's what you're really doing. You're calling for someone to be outed, because what are you going to do? What are you going to do to them? You're going to bully them? You're going to talk about them nonstop? Make them want to go and kill themselves? Like, why are you crashing out over Caitlin Clark? I really need to know, Shannon, because it's at least once a week. She's not playing anymore. She's been eliminated. She's been swept. Are you saying that she wasn't supposed to be swept? You're complaining about ratings. The girl was swept. It just sounds like he wants players to lay down, let her just run the court and score. We're just supposed to fix the games for her. That's what's supposed to happen. The media is putting pressure on the WNBA to fix the games for Caitlin Clark, which I find to be crazy. Other players shined this season. Other rookies shined. But I guess he couldn't be bothered to talk about Rickea Jackson. He couldn't be bothered to talk about Leonie Fibich, who, by the way, is headed to the finals. Hello. Caitlin Clark is not the only player on earth. They need to stop this. It's giving obsessed. Like I said, Shannon needs to turn around and worry about not going accidentally live. Worry about what's going to happen if you suddenly don't become on Stephen A's side. Then what? I mean, Skip must have had him on a very short lease. He must have had him in check. He probably said, look, don't bring that fangirl shit over here. That's probably what he had to tell him. Like, hey, I don't really want you jumping out the car, just showing off purses. That's not what I'm interested in. I don't want them talking about that. But I don't know. Call in, guys. What do you think about the playoffs? Do you have any predictions for the finals, even just for the ending of the Lynx versus the Sun? Do you agree that Caitlin Clark was snubbed for unanimous MVP? I'm sorry, unanimous Rookie of the Year. By the way, Shannon Sharp he said unanimous MVP in his video with Ocho. It's just like we can't get it right, because 1 minute she's being talked about being MVP, that the race is just between her and Asia Wilson. It's a complete. Oh, 1 second. Hey, T-Bert. Talk to me nice.
Hey, that was funny. He said he need to worry about not jumping out the car with his purse on.
I'm just saying, like, you're out here, you're perpetuating hate. You're perpetuating race and gender wars. You're attacking women on ESPN. Now Chanae and all those women, they're being forced to say that Caitlin was snubbed and that this person needs to be outed. And we know who's behind that.
Right, for sure.
Shannon and Stephen A.
And you know what? It's a shame that topic is being broadcasted on ESPN when we have, at the time, 4 spectacular teams fighting their rear ends off.
Yeah.
And that should have been highlighted. Caitlin Clark, she got swept. Okay, bye-bye. We'll see you next season. Okay. But for right now, we should be putting the spotlight on those 4 teams at the time that were still alive. And they put on some spectacular shows. They did a really good job. And those women need to get highlighted for their achievement of winning games in the playoffs. We shouldn't be talking about, ESPN shouldn't be just highlighting somebody that got swept, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't agree with it either. I really don't. And ESPN, what they're doing, I think they work hand in hand with Nike. Because I wonder, like, how is ESPN also working for Caitlin? To me, it's no coincidence that they work for LeBron and now they're working for Caitlin. So there must be a Nike connection there. They must be paid by Nike, not just Clutch. Something is happening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, something. Yeah, the machine is definitely corrupted. I stopped watching ESPN and SportsCenter and all that like 2 years ago when I found out they was on LeBron payroll, and they're ones who actually got this fake debate going about who's better, Jordan, LeBron. They created that narrative, and everybody watches it. And just like Hitler used to do, Hitler said, if you say something over and over again, people will believe it. And that's what ESPN did. They said it for years and years, and now you got these people that believe this is a real debate, and it's not. But I'm going to try to stick to topic. Can I go over the WNBA a little bit?
You can. We got, what do we got? 2 minutes.
I try to give as much as I can. So let's talk about why the Aces lost, okay? I'm going to start with Asia. They didn't lose because of Asia. Asia played good, but her numbers in a regular season was 27 and 12. Great players, and she is a great player. Great players usually rise in the playoffs. Their numbers increased. Hers decreased. Her numbers in the playoffs against New York was 22 and 8. So she significantly went down in points and rebounds. But she gave it her all. She gave it her all. Like her last game, she had 5 blocks. But there's a reason why they lost. Let's start with the defense. Jackie Young and Chelsea, they were absolutely horrible on defense. Their feet are like cement. And New York, if you look at the Liberty's offense, it's similar to UConn's offense. They always run in backdoor cuts. There's always 2 backdoor cuts on the opposite side of the ball. And they just could not defend it. And let me tell you who they picked on. Alicia Clark and Kelsey Plum. I love Kelsey Plum. But they targeted Alicia Clark and Kelsey Plum and pick and rolls and backdoor cuts, and they got lost. It wasn't clear to me. Did the coach tell them to switch everything or stick with your man? Because Kelsey would stay, Alicia would not stay. It was just weird. And they were getting backdoor cut like crazy. It was absolutely deplorable. And here's another thing. That team is old. They need to do something. Yeah, Tiffany Hayes, right? She played really good. She played good coming off the bench, but she's 35 years old. Alicia Clark is lost on defense and lost on offense. She does not know her role. She does not have an identity, and that's your starter. And Alicia Clark is 37. They need to get younger. Hayes is 35. Clark is 37. They have to get younger. And here was the big eye opener. Jacqueline Jones, she was able to give Asia, she made Asia work for all of her buckets. The coach didn't come up with easy plays to free Asia up. And she allowed her to go one-on-one with Jacqueline Jones, who's 6'6", Asia 6'4". Asia still did her thing, but it enabled, it was just, she made Asia work too daggone hard. And the coach did not implement anything to free Asia up to get her some easier shots. And I'm going to tell you what they missed. They missed Candace Parker so much, because when Candace Parker came into the game, she came off the bench a lot. When she came into the game, Candace would go to the 5 and Asia would go to the 4. So Asia didn't have to bang with those big centers. And look what Candace did her last game against New York. She had 15, 6, and 6, 2 steals, a block. She shot 75% from 3. I'm going to repeat that. 75% from 3 and 50% from the field. That is tremendous. And that's what they missed. They missed Candace Parker, 6'4", 6'5". She's an athletic big who can stretch the defense out, which makes them play honest. So what happens is Candace Parker leaves, their starting center gets hurt, and guess who gets put in the starting lineup? 37-year-old, lost in offense, has no clue on defense, Alicia Clark. And
I like
that's
Alicia
exactly
Clark.
why
I like Alicia Clark.
She's
good.
She's lost,
she's good for 3-point shooting. Okay, she's great for 3-point shooting. They needed to go bigger. Alicia Clark wasn't going to solve the problem defensively. Neither was Jackie Young. Asia Wilson needs a break. She needs a break from guarding Jonquel Jones and being the dog on defense. It's tough to do both in an elimination game. So they needed to play Megan more than 7 minutes, even if it's just as a decoy.
Something, but they couldn't. If you look at Asia, she's playing majority of the game. And if you look at the plus minus, when Asia is in the game, they're plus. When she's out of the game, they're like -8. So she could not afford to take a break, but they have to do something.
Well, I think Chelsea Gray was like a -19. That's the problem. When you have someone like Chelsea Gray on the floor, they needed to pull her out. They gave her way too many minutes and she just wasn't doing anything for them. They needed to pull her out and they needed to keep Megan in for a good 20 minutes instead of 7. And I think that could have helped.
Chelsea's just not, I don't know, she's just not in shape, not healthy.
It's both.
Like she hot one game, cold one next. Like I just don't, and she can't play D for some reason now. So
yeah,
maybe because it's the extra week.
Get healthy after. I'm sorry, she couldn't get in shape after her injury. So even if she's recovered, which I'm not sure that she is, I don't think that she could get healthy because she was coming out of injury. And then she turned around and went to the Olympics where she didn't play well. She was unplayable there. She was completely unplayable in the Olympics. So why would you play her during one of the most critical moments when you could not play her in the Olympics?
Absolutely. One more thing. Let me just one more minute. Let me just hit the next game real quick and I'll get off the line. The next game, which is a great game. Game 1, right? The reason why Nafisa Collier and her team lost, because they got bullied. They got bullied. It's just that simple. They didn't match the intensity. Now, game 2, Nafisa Collier's team, they actually bullied the bully and they won. Game 3, great game. And I just want to give a shout out to Dejanay Carrington. If you like pure basketball and defense at its finest, which the NBA does not provide, watch her. She single-handedly dominated that game on defense. She disrupted their entire offense. That girl is the real deal. She just got to work on her midi a little bit and she'll be okay. And the other thing I love about her, she's 5'11". She puts those little guards in a post and torches them. Just like your boy back in the day, Mark Jackson used to do to the small guards, right? But It's a really, really good series, and yeah, it's a pick 'em at this point. Definitely a pick 'em. But now, let me tell you who I think wins the whole thing. I do not like the Liberty.
They're winning it, T-Bert. New
And I'm going to tell you why. I know you're a New York homer. Oh, relax. Calm down.
Saying it's time.
Listen. I'm always going to be objective. And
Shout
I don't
out to
like
Harlem,
Stewie.
by the way, guys. Shout out to Harlem.
And I don't like Stewie either for one reason. Because she's from UConn, and I'm Pat Summit, Lady Vol all day long. So I don't like Stewie. But here's the reason why New York is going to win. They play great basketball. They're very unselfish. They're very disciplined. And the whole offense does not run through just one person. Not one person is dominating. Their defense is great. And look at the offense that they run. There's constant motions, constant backdoor cuts, constant pick and rolls. And I even saw them, the opposing team scored. As they're dribbling up court, New York is dribbling up court, they called a half-court set offense, which was a high screen pick and roll above the three-point line, which led to a layup. Their offense is insane. They're a well-oiled machine. They're going to win. I hope they lose.
So here's the thing about the Liberty. I think that they're not overrated, but the fact is that they have 3 MVP level players on their team. They have depth on their bench. They're the team that's built to win. So like you said, they're loaded. They have multiple guns from offense to defense. Jonquel Jones is a former MVP. Breanna Stewart is last year's reigning MVP. So they're going to win. They're going to win in the finals. I don't see the Lynx being able to beat them. They're too small, in my opinion. And the Liberty just has really great firepower on that team. Napheesa Collier, to me, she's the one on the Lynx, and they are going to come and go with her. If they stop Napheesa Collier, the Lynx lose. They cannot beat the Liberty without Napheesa Collier scoring a lot of points. I think she's got to average 30 points per game in that series in order to beat them.
I agree with you 90%. Let me give you the 10% on the Napheesa Collier. The game that they did win, Napheesa had 9 points and 12 boards, and she completely dominated the entire game on defense with her intensity and her rebounds. She only scored 9 points, and they won the game. So they are capable of winning without her going crazy.
And I'm sorry, which game? You're saying they beat the Liberty and she only scored 9 points?
Yes.
Well, who else came up in that game? Who made shots? So their 3 ball has to fall. So if it doesn't, McBride hasn't been herself. So I'm talking about playoff play. I don't want to go to regular season play for the WNBA just because it's not necessarily an indicator. We saw what the Sun did to the Fever. They completely undressed them.
Okay.
Completely, and they lost the last 2 games to them. They lost back-to-back games in that series in the regular season. Come playoff time, they didn't look like the same team. The Fever looked. No,
they didn't.
They looked just like Caitlin Clark looked against South Carolina.
And you know what? Now, Napheesa Collier, I thought she was like 6'4", 6'5". You know, she's only 6'1", but she plays like she's 6'4".
Collier has the best, I would say, most perfect athletic body for a woman to have. I mean, I think she could play any sport. She could dominate any sport that she ever played. So I love Collier, but T-Bert, I do want to move on to the next topic. We could do this all night. We can talk about W all night long, but I do want to move on to the next topic. I have one more caller and then we're going to move on. Okay.
All right. Got you. I'll hit you on the next topic.
All right, T-Bert. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, I'm just calling someone back. And if they don't answer, then we're going to move on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jeffrey. Talk to me nice. Welcome to Sports Tea.
Yeah, WNBA. Yeah, the Liberty's going to win. That team is big. That team is like the guy before said was a well-oiled machine. They spread out. They like the most balanced team with size passing and coaching. The Aces, they have a lot of talent, but like you said, they coaching sucks. I'm sure like before the actual games, because this team is an experienced team, they won back-to-back championships. They could see what's going on in practice and all that stuff. They could see what's going on with Gray and all that. So they didn't make any kind of adjustments. They could have moved Asia Wilson around a little bit and changed her locations and spots and brought, like you said, in another big end or something to give her a break on defense. Because obviously she got to lug a lot of minutes, but the coach wasn't prepared for anything at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you take a look at this graphic here, I have Kia Stokes on the screen. She was injured. She had a concussion. And, you know, I think that was really the missing piece for the Aces. When she's on the floor, teams are shooting less than 30%. So I think that they really needed her defensively in order to beat the Liberty.
Especially to overcoming the lack of coaching, because they're out there just playing on talent. They're not literally coaching. Like when you got a player like Asia Wilson and you know that it's playoff time, because the guy mentioned that some of her numbers dropped and all that. Of course, it's the playoffs and they're going to key on her. So the other coach, her coach, is supposed to automatically understand that and know that they're going to try to key on and make it easier for her. You know what I mean? By moving her around where the other team wasn't been prepared. You know what I mean? Starting off in different spots and maybe putting her at a different position where she's coming off the 5 into the 4 and she's starting off on this elbow, or might start off with a wing. I might even have her bringing the ball up one time and then Plum on the wing. Like I just would have just switched it up around just to keep the other team off balance with Asia.
I think that was a really great observation that you made. I think Becky Hammon just didn't coach very well. Honestly, she was out coached flat out. Blondetto, whatever her name is, she did an excellent job against Hammond.
Right. And not only does the coaching on the floor, they wasn't prepared. They just looked less prepared. Like the Liberty looked more prepared. It's almost like they just let them go out there and do their thing, other than really coaching them up to try to win it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. There's just been the Aces faced so much adversity between that lawsuit that they had. Well, it's still ongoing. I think Becky Hammon should be fired. But you know, that's just my opinion about that. There were a lot of different things that they could have done, I think, to be more competitive in this series. I felt like at times their defense just wasn't consistent. It looked like they didn't want to play defense at moments. So, you know, Asia Wilson, I felt like she willed them to a win in that game 3, and it wasn't enough. So,
and then the last thing, you know, I'll try to keep my calls short, is the Caitlin Clark thing. For a big part of the year, people was like, it was a rookie of the year race. It was like, who's doing this? They both breaking records. They both doing certain things. I don't know where Shannon's coming at like this. Like, I'm surprised it was only one voter. That's what I'm seriously surprised at that, because the race was closer than that. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, Angel Reese deserves to be praised for the serious season she had as a rookie. So, like, I thought it should have been more like maybe 70-30%, 70%, 30%, like that, or 65-35, or even 60-40. Just because of how the race was, and to the end, Caitlin Clark took off at the very end. So, like, she deserved to be recognized for an outstanding rookie season, and not by one vote. So, for them to want to out somebody for the one vote, who was all these people who didn't give Angel Reese votes? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think she should have had some more votes. She had all-time WNBA records, not just all-time rookie records. So, like, the way that she came out this season when everything was stacked against her, I mean, she had the entire world against her in favor of Caitlin Clark. She had people saying she couldn't hit layups. They were criticizing her game every single moment. They were saying she was a bully, a villain. She was this, she was all these things that were just kind of a distraction, in my opinion. And also, her team doesn't run the offense through her. So every point that she got, she had to work so hard for that. And I mean, anybody that says that Angel Reese didn't have a great season is insane. Anybody that says she didn't drive ratings and attendance is also insane. So it really bothers me that Shannon Sharp is out here, defending and just he's just it's the white tears it must be getting to him, but it's like he has white tears. I've never seen anything like it. Caitlin Clark isn't even saying anything. She's grateful she won Rookie of the Year. She's not complaining that she didn't get unanimous Rookie of the Year. So why is he doing this? I don't understand it. I'm not mad at him for talking about Caitlin Clark. I'm mad at him for being so incensed over it. I'm mad at the passion. He's screaming, he's yelling, he's crashing out over Caitlin Clark and attacking Black women. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp's a real, he changed, man. I don't know what's going on with that guy.
He needs to go back to Skip because Skip had him on a very tight leash. Put your glasses back on. I love that. I mean, look, I know he disrespected him. I know that relationship was toxic, but Shannon Sharp was much more behaved. I've never seen, his behavior, he should be ashamed of himself.
I need to see you and Skip. Y'all had the hottest podcast. I think y'all blow it out the water.
We would just, we'd both be talking about how LeBron's disappearing in the fourth quarter, front running. Then WNBA comes on next season. We're both going to be saying that Caitlin's disappearing in the fourth. I mean, it would just be bad on top of bad.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. Y'all hear that, fans? We got to get her and Skip together. Somehow we got to make this work. Anybody know Skip?
I'm wondering if he's going to make it back to network TV because we're going to need some balance. Right now, Fox has nobody there that I think is even worth watching. I'm going to watch Paul Pierce. I love Paul Pierce. But yeah, I think Fox, they missed by firing Skip. Nick Wright is definitely not the guy. He's not the guy that I think people are going to start watching.
I can't watch him.
Terrible.
I used to like Broussard, but I don't know. He's starting to change too. So.
Broussard, I don't know when he started getting paid by Clutch. So did he change when he started getting the Clutch checks? Like, I don't know what's up with that. But he must have changed when he got the Clutch checks.
Sometimes it seems like he tried to sneak his true self in there, but you could tell that he's being like controlled. You could tell that he don't believe the stuff he be saying. Like he don't come off like he really believes that stuff.
Broussard, I agree with you about Broussard, but I think Shannon Sharp actually, he makes himself believe. So thank you so much for calling in, Jeffrey. Really appreciate your call. You're awesome. You rock. And we're going to move on to the next topic. Okay.
No, you rock. And thank you very much. I'm still here.
Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Sure. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. So we're moving on to the Lakers preseason. Sorry, Mel, I didn't cut my ringer off in time. Wait, hold on. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Man down, Mel. Talk to me nice.
Look, yeah, I just got off my forklift, man. I was scrambling and scraping.
I like how you scrambling and scraping out here, Daddy.
Yeah. I put the forklift in reverse, man. But look, real quick. Shannon Sharp, man. You already know how that is, man. So I honestly I think I don't think he's that dumb, right? I think that he really think that one day he'll get Caitlin Clark on an interview and he think he go break the internet with it. And he just trying to play nice, man. He can't be that dumb. Like he just literally can't be that dumb. But I think another part of it is, he worked for the big wig. He worked for ESPN, and Stephen A. Smith is notorious for knowing what to say and what to say to satisfy the bosses and stuff like that. So I think he just learned a whole bunch from Stephen A. Smith, and he knows to lean all the way in to where I guess where the money is going. So he's pissed off that he just can't figure out why everyone's not leaning that way, because that's where the money is going. His mind is just all on the money, the clicks, the ratings, and he thinks that people are in a way from them being able to lean 100% into it and making it explode. And I think that's what they, what their mind is at, man. But yeah, that's all I had to say, man. I got the phone so you can finish doing your stuff, man. I truly get in and say what I got to say and get off. So
Well, thank you for calling in. I don't think Shannon Sharp's ever going to get an interview with Caitlin Clark. I don't think she would have anything to do with him or that discussion. You know, I don't think she wants to talk to people who are creating division. I would hope not, but who knows?
Yeah. All right.
All righty. Have a good one, Mel. Thanks so much. All righty. So we're moving on to the Lakers preseason. Man, did anybody watch Bronny shooting bricks in the first game, in the second game? Because it was just brick, brick, brick. It's LeBrick Jr. Like I say, Halloween is coming up and Bronny's going to be in that costume. He's already wearing the costume, the NBA costume. He's not an NBA player. What we saw last night, it was just pathetic. To see LeBron and Bronny out there side by side getting equal amounts of turnovers together, they can't win like that. JJ Redick can't possibly be ready to play them both. And Bronny got 13 minutes. An actual NBA player named Gabe Vincent played 10 minutes. He played 10 minutes, but Bronny played 13. Turned the ball over 4 times, didn't score. I think the one shot he made was late in the fourth quarter, and the basket didn't count. Make me understand how Bronny is an NBA player. Can somebody explain it to me? Because I don't see it. I just don't. I don't see how Bronny is an NBA player at all. 4 turnovers for both his dad and the son. I think LeBron did, what did he do? 19 points in 16 minutes. And Bronny was a fat 0 in 13 minutes. 0 points. So he's wearing a costume. He's bricking shots. I watched him brick a layup. Really? A layup? He looks like a deer in headlights out there on the court. I know that people are going to say, oh, you're hating on kids. He's not a kid. He's an adult in the NBA. Kids don't make it to the NBA. Adults play in the NBA. And he's not good. He wasn't good in high school. He wasn't good in college. And he's not good now. He wasn't good in summer league. Yeah, we know that people play poorly in summer league. But now we're in the preseason. It's the same thing. Can't buy a shot. The release is slow. Every time he pulls up, he's got a set shot. It looks so bad. Even the set, as he's setting himself, he looks like he's like wobbly and shaky. He's scared to shoot. What it looked like to me, like his dad was trying to set a screen for him, and he didn't even want to shoot the ball. I think LeBron had to tell him to shoot, and it was a brick, but he had to tell him, shoot the ball. I could barely find like the lowlights of Bronny because, of course, all of the media is reporting great things, that he had defensive stops that led to this and led to that. The stat line is terrible. We need to stop this. You cannot score 0 points and you're on the floor 13 minutes. Not when LeBron's out here saying that you're going to shine in this league. We need to see something. Can't be bricking layups. That's not going to, the Lakers aren't going to win any games. Like, do we think that the Lakers are going to lose every preseason game at least? Can we agree to that? Because I don't see them winning a single game in the preseason. I want to read some comments. I want to see what you guys are saying in here about this, because Bronny's game was, it's not there. How are they going to use Bronny? He's what is he, 6 feet tall? He's 6'2" or something like that. How are they going to turn him into a 3-and-D player? He doesn't look 3-and-D out there. He doesn't. Dalton Connect was balling. He had great defensive plays. The way he just stood up there and blocked the shot, 2 arms up. I like Dalton Connect. I like him better than Reeves. I feel like he's the replacement for Reeves. Whenever Reeves is traded, they're going to put Connect in his place, and his role should become Connect's, because I am very impressed with him. But watching Bronny is like just watching somebody that completely doesn't belong. It's like that ugly girl in the friend group that, nobody wants to take out on a date. except for some reason they're hanging out in VIP. Oh my gosh. What did somebody say? Bronny's building projects. I mean, he's building like multi-level projects. He's building neighborhoods. He needs to emphasize the one motion on his jumper. His release is so slow. When you watch his wrist and you watch his arm, like his fingertips, he's not a good shooter. Honestly, his shooting form is the same as his dad's. LeBron's has improved slightly because he lost some weight. His shoulders are not as big, so he's actually able to shoot the ball. But Bronny, he doesn't look good out there. Bronny James is the first guard to record 3 blocks in the preseason since D. Wade. This is what they do. They do the same thing with Caitlin Clark. They do the same thing with players that they're trying to, perpetuate as the GOAT. I guess Bronny's the GOAT of all rookies, isn't he? But that's what they do. They say things like that. Oh, this is the greatest since such and such. Dwayne Wade didn't play in 1950. By the way, I think Dwayne Wade is better than LeBron, and I think that his son was also better than Bronny. But, we're forced to watch Bronny play on the Lakers, a team that, should be on its way to many more championships, but it doesn't seem very likely now, does it? Be careful, calling a spade makes you a hater. I know. I mean, when I sit here and just say, hey, Bronny can't shoot the ball, I'm hating on kids. When I say that, both of them had 8 turnovers combined, that means, I'm hating on greatness, the greatest father-son duo to ever live. Are they the greatest? Do you think so? I don't see it. I think it's going to be, I'm going with Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Sr. That's who I think is the greatest father-son duo. I know that's not a basketball duo, but this is not on the level. Ken Griffey Jr. was better than Ken Griffey Sr. Bronny James is not even close. I would prefer to see Bryce James in the NBA than Bronny. Bronny looks like he prefers Call of Duty. He looks like maybe, he should be playing video games, dating white girls, and, hanging out, going to parties. He doesn't seem like he belongs in the NBA. He has that blank stare. Have you ever seen somebody with a blank stare at work and you know that they're either not listening or they don't comprehend what you're doing, or they're just flat out slow? They just kind of like disappear into space at times. That's Bronny. He oftentimes just goes into like this blank stare. And you wonder, like, is he going to be frozen in time? It's just, I don't see how he's a real NBA player. Can you guys make it make sense for me? I don't see one comment here in support of him playing for the NBA. They called every one of LeBron's former teammates trash, but won't keep the same energy for Bronny. Celebrity worship is real. I mean, I call it fandom. Fandom it's a dangerous thing. We're in a dangerous place right now where people get obsessed about a player and every single thing that they do is great or it's right. And I'm sorry, but LeBron, this doesn't help the GOAT debate for me. This doesn't pad his legacy to play with his son. For me, I get that this was a goal of his, but it doesn't somehow catapult him over Kobe Bryant. It doesn't somehow, elevate him over Jordan. Neither one of those two players would have decided that they were going to just throw their season in the trash to play with their son. But I got to tell you, if Bronny James Jr. is getting 13 minutes a game, that is a recipe for losing every single game. I can promise you that. I don't see them winning a single game unless they're playing the Houston Rockets. And even that team, I see them beating the Lakers. Ime Udoka doesn't like LeBron. So they're going to play to win. They're going to play to embarrass. All these teams are going to come out and they're going to be looking to embarrass LeBron and Bronny on the court. I don't see anybody point shaving for them. I think he'll be D League for most of the season. I can't see being on the roster and Bronson is getting my minutes. Exactly. Can you imagine? I can't believe that they sat Gabe Vincent in favor of Bronny. But look, we knew that was going to happen. We knew that was a strong possibility that Bronny was going to get serious, meaningful minutes. All in the name of what? Development? Is JJ Redick trying to play a game with LeBron? Hey, I'll throw him in a couple of games. We'll see what he does. Is he purposely trying to show LeBron, hey, this isn't going to work? I wonder what's the real strategy here. Is there a strategy to actually win games? Or are we just going to be forced to see the Kardashians out on the floor? I mean, LeBron Kardashian, to me, he's not showing good parenting by doing this to his son. Right now, he's all over the news. There's people clowning him all over the place, saying he doesn't belong, saying everything that we've all been saying already, jokes upon jokes. Why would you put your son in the league to suffer these kinds of, I would say, mental health potential issues? I mean, how can you not be depressed or a potential suicide case when you're being talked about every single day and you're not living up to the hype? You're not living up to the expectations. What happened to Bronny being like a legit first round pick? What happened to him being, ranked 19th as a recruit? What happened to that? Dalton is nice though. He can play. He can play. He has the ingredients for what's necessary. But I just thought it was funny because there were moments where we see Austin Reeves bring down the ball. He passes it to LeBron. LeBron starts taking over, the offense. Austin Reeves immediately runs to the corner and you see LeBron and Bronny at the top of the key. Like, really? Those are going to be the two people that, that's number 1 and 2 on the team? That's what it looked like. I'm waiting for lob passes and alley-oops. Like, what happened to that? Why couldn't we get that yesterday? You lost the game anyway. At least let's see this, this elusive alley-oop that we're waiting for Bronny to throw to LeBron. It was trash. The best part, something that I did see, was that LeBron appeared to be playing defense, and it looks like he wants to be a good example for his son. So I suspect that when Bronny's on the floor with LeBron, he's going to defend. I saw him really sitting in the seat. I mean, really, he was in the chair playing defense. And I get it. It was only 16 minutes, but I suspect that when we see them on the floor together, LeBron is going to be putting in max effort. He's going to want to be, the vibe that he wants Bronny to be on the floor. That's what I would hope. I do think that at some point he's going to start yelling at his son to either get back on defense while he's watching or box out while he's also watching that, or he's going to start blaming him for his own turnovers. Hey, my turnovers were actually yours. I can totally see that. This is already exhausting. Watching Bronny and LeBron play together is already exhausting. There was a nice moment between Kevin Durant and LeBron James where they dabbed each other up from being Olympic teammates. That was nice to see. But man, oh man, I wonder if Kevin Durant is just laughing in the back of his head like, wow, this is a train wreck. These are all easy wins. Come regular season, if Bronny's on the floor, I can't see how they win. JJ Redick is an analytics guy. You putting Bronny on the floor is going to instantly cost you the game. I don't know how people are not seeing this. When is one of you going to take the joystick out of LeBron's hands? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, D. JJ looks like he'd been drinking before and after the game over the stress of having to keep Bron happy and lying about Bronny. Bronny earned this. I know he earned it, right? It was earned, not given. What a load of bullshit. Bronny has never been good on any level. The more I watch him, the more he proves that he absolutely does not belong. I know. Look, I know. Watching him to think that he was in the game at the end of the fourth quarter with a minute left. These are JJ Redick's decisions. I find it to be just laughable. I wouldn't even pick up Bronny at a YMCA run. SMH, he's ass. I mean, he is. Nobody's making this up. This isn't hate. He's not good. LeBrenda used nepotism to embarrass his own son. Good job, Clutch Sports. I mean, look, Rich Paul is just as much as involved in this. He could have told LeBron, hey, this is not going to be good for either one of you. This isn't good for Bronny's mental health. It's not going to be good for your legacy. Don't do this. And maybe he did. Maybe LeBron said, hey, I want this. I don't care what we have to do to get it. Let's make it happen. Who knows? I see all of this ending in epic disaster. I'm hoping that it ends in LeBron announcing his retirement by the All-Star break. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that all of this looks so bad that he's going to say, hey, I'm going to retire. But something tells me that we're going to be suffering for another 2, maybe 3 years. Something's telling me that, and I know it makes everybody sick, especially me. I'm so tired of watching LeBron on the court. And now we also have to watch his son, who's talentless. We have to watch the Kardashian family play basketball. That's what basketball in the NBA has turned into, a complete reality show. We're watching the Kardashians right in front of our eyes. Can you imagine Kim Kardashian getting an NBA contract? That's what happened with Bronny. A talentless person is in the NBA. And look, I don't want to completely insult him and say that he's talentless. I feel like I heard myself go a little too far, but he's not an NBA player. He belongs, I don't even know that he belongs in the G League. So people are saying, oh, he needs to spend time there. I don't think he even earned a spot there based on how he played in college and high school. Le Jr. is building Megaloctopus. He sure is. Bronny is undersized, can't play make, can't shoot threes, midi, or free throws. His defense is horrendous. Guys were blowing right by him and targeting him. I mean, it was really bad. Josh Okogie just completely torched him. It was just the way that he just drove in the lane on Bronny. It's clear that this is a league for adults. It's a league for men, and Bronny's not there. He probably is still a kid. His game has not developed to be that of a professional. I don't even think he should have been playing at USC. We saw how that went. He was on one of the worst teams and he couldn't shine. It's so funny because LeBron, he compares Bronny to Caitlin Clark. That's, for some reason, he thinks that Bronny is just like Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was a gunner that went to Iowa and she balled out. Iowa, oftentimes, they invest in gunners. They did it multiple times. That's their MO. The team is trash, but they'll have one gunner that can light up the floor, get records, average 30. That's the model of Iowa. That is not Bronny. He didn't do that anywhere. He didn't average 30 anywhere. I know he scored 30 in the McDonald's. Apparently, LeBron made phone calls and said, hey, you got to let my son cook. He needs to shine in this game. He needs to play in this game, even though he wasn't even supposed to be in the McDonald's game at all. That was revealed. Who would you want on your team? Bronny or Gilly the Kid? I'd want my dog on the team before I put Bronny on the team. Shit, I want myself on the team. The Lakers need to come and draft me. Draft me to the Lakers. I'll take 6 or 7 million over 4 years, whatever the deal that he got. I'll take that to stink it up in crypto. I'm a better shooter. I know I'm going to knock down some threes. Shit, LeBron, put my ass in the corner. I'll knock down those threes for you. I have no problem. But Bronny, he's taken up a roster spot. He's taking up a roster spot from some kid that was just like LeBron, that wanted to put their family on, that wants to make it, that wants to get out of the hood. But no, Bronny deserves the spot. Connect is actually a good piece, even for LaFraud. Connect can shoot off screen, off dribble, left or right. He can flat out score. He's a dog. I really like his game. Kids don't have 4-year, $7 million contracts. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They need to give it to me. Can I hold something, Bronny? Shit. Because we know he's not going to be on the Lakers for 4 years. We know that. Bronny, no. No, 3. He's definitely not 3-and-D. He's not. Bronny can't bring the ball up, but yet he was doing it. So, like, he has no ball handling. It's really bad. This is an embarrassment. LeBron and Bronny are making a mockery of the NBA. It does need to be stopped. I don't wish anything bad on Bronny. I hope that he continues to have a healthy season. I hope that he does turn it around. I hope for his own sake, his own mental health, that he can turn this around, that he can somehow will himself, that he can pray as those shots are going up, that they go down. Because it's not going to get any better. The criticism, the trolling, it's only going to get worse. Nobody has said that. So Nino, our resident LeBron fan, I don't know what nobody has said, but I'm pretty sure that everybody is saying that Bronny is terrible. ESPN said Bronny is the poor man's Drew Holiday. When they said that, I almost fell out. We're talking about a guy who's one of the top 15 players in the league. Drew Holiday, really? I know that Bronny wanted to model his game after Drew Holiday, but to say that he plays like him, and you know what, in a way, Bronny kind of is like Caitlin Clark, because prior to him even being drafted, they were saying that, right? That he's the poor man's Drew Holiday. He looked great. At the draft combine, he was doing all these things. Then fast forward to Summer League. Drew Holiday doesn't shoot like that. Drew Holiday doesn't get blown by. He's a great defender. Drew Holiday is a great scorer as well. He can do what is needed to be done on the floor. We can't just put Bronny anywhere and he's going to succeed. He's not Drew Holiday. But we're going to keep moving it. So he's going to go from what? He's going to go from Drew Holiday then to Pat Bev. And I don't think that's a good comparison. Pat Bev was an actual NBA player. I used to call Pat Beverly the purse snatcher. He was a real deal defender. By the way, he also averaged 37 points in high school. And we can take a look at other players that they didn't average that many points in college, like Jimmy Butler. He wasn't, I don't think he was I don't think he was a 5-star recruit. I think he was a 4-star recruit. He averaged about 8 points at Marquette or something like that. But he wasn't playing for a bad team. So when you play for really great teams and there's other good players on your team, your scoring average is going to be different. But Jimmy Butler quickly was able to prove himself in the NBA. We call him Himmy. He's him. Bronny, he's not going to turn into that. You don't come into the NBA to develop as a player. Yes, naturally your game is organically going to develop, but you don't develop into an NBA player. You already are one when you enter the league. Usually, just in any job, even for myself in my regular day job, I've got to be acting in that role before I get promoted to the next position. You have to behave as someone who is acting in the job that they want, not the job that they have. So Bronny needed to be showing qualities of a pro in college. He needed to be showing that he could go one and done when he was in high school, but he never showed any of those things. LeBron overhyped him. He's always been overrated. ESPN overranked him multiple times. He went from being ranked 45 in high school to being ranked 19 in a week. It's just, we have to stop capping for LeBron and Bronny. We have to stop it. This is not a scenario of like father, like son. Like father, like son, I'm going to turn over the ball. Like father, like son, I'm going to be a poor shooter straight out of the gate. Like father, like son, I'm going to stand at the top of the key waiting for a screen. Dribble the ball, not knowing what to do with it. That's like father, like son. I'm going to be a bad defender. But he's not even bum rushing the lane like LeBron. Get him up out of here. Nobody wants to see this anymore. Laker fans, people who are fans of a winning franchise, do you think they want to see loser basketball? They don't. It's bad enough they've had LeBron for the past 6 seasons, missing the playoffs, making the play-in, getting bumped from the play-in, swept in the first round, swept in the Western Conference Finals. When is enough going to be enough? When are the embarrassments and the L's going to be a wake-up call for not just LeBron, but for JJ Redick, for the Lakers franchise? When is this going to end? Apparently, there was a report that came out that LeBron, that apparently the reason why he went to the Lakers was because of how they took care of Kobe Bryant. The Kobe Bryant made LeBron want to go to the Lakers because they took care of him at the end of his career. They paid him very well, even though he wasn't playing that well, even though he was injured. They gave him this, this farewell, and they really honored him. They still treated him like a superstar through the end. And I mean, as they should. He was loyal to their franchise throughout his whole career. He was he wasn't quite drafted by them, but he played for them and only for them. So I don't see how that correlates to LeBron, someone who hasn't been loyal to any franchise, someone who's been on, this would be now his 4th team. And I know what you're going to say, it was only 3 franchises, but it was his 4th team. He played for 2 different teams on the Cavaliers. So I'm going to say he team hopped 4 times total. Then LeBron responded. So mind you, LeBron can't respond to PED's allegations from Shael Sonnen. He can't respond to, multiple people making PED's allegations against him, but he can respond to, he also won't respond to the Diddy party allegations. So he's not coming out and saying, hey, I wasn't at those parties, or hey, I wasn't at those after parties. He won't come out and address that. He won't come out against his friend Diddy and say, hey, this behavior of beating women, raping them, sex trafficking, all of these things are deplorable. He won't come out against that. But he felt the need to reply to the report of him going to the Lakers because they were going to make it more comfortable for him as a superstar. He replied to that. And he said, I went to the Lakers to help Jeannie win championships. Can you believe that, guys? In the last 6 seasons, do we feel like LeBron went to the Lakers to help win championships? Because I don't. I feel like he went to the Lakers to gouge them and deplete them of their resources, to force his son to play for them. He went to the Lakers so that he could, enjoy California, become some sort of, movie star post-career. He has a production company. He was doing a lot of different business deals, liquor deals, all kinds of partnerships, buying different teams. I think he bought a pickleball team. I don't know that report is 100% true, but him replying that he went to the Lakers to win championships, I don't think it's true either. You went to the Lakers to be in LA. You went to the Lakers because you wanted to live in California. You wanted, Cleveland, Ohio wasn't sexy enough for you. And I don't blame you, because I've never been to Ohio and I never want to be going there. So I get it. But just keep it a stack. If you're going to respond, be honest. That's the problem that people have with LeBron, is that he's not genuine. He's not authentic. He's a liar. He's full of it. Every time that we see LeBron, he's busy trying to pull wool. He just wants to pull wool over our eyes at every turn. He wants to convince us that the sky is red and that Bronny can play basketball. Well, I got to tell you, the sky is not red. It's blue. And he still can't play. And forcing him on the floor for 13 minutes and, over other qualified NBA players who are actual 3-and-D players, who are actual great defenders, actual great shooters, that's not going to do it. That's not going to help the Lakers win games. How can Wade be better than LeBron? He's better at winning. He's a better winner. He's a better player off the ball. He's a better shooter. He's a better ball handler. That's how. Never underestimate the mid-season LeBron stimulus package. You know, somebody told me, speaking of the stimulus package come mid-season, someone was saying that don't be surprised if perhaps Jimmy Butler or John Morant is traded to the Lakers. I can't see either one of those players wanting to play alongside LeBron. John Morant, I think that he takes too much joy in embarrassing LeBron. I'll never forget when he jumped out of the gym to block LeBron's shot. To me, that was the best chase down block that I've seen in the past 10 years. Not LeBron's 2016 chase down, but it was that one. Man, yeah, I don't see anybody wanting to be a part of this circus. DeMar DeRozan loves LA. He wanted to go to the Lakers. At some point, he was in negotiations with them. They wouldn't give him 3 years. So, you know, he moved on. He went to Chicago. And now he avoided the Lakers. You know, they tried to get him and he went to Sacramento, which is a much better option for him. I love that. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do. I can't wait to see them blow the Lakers off the floor like they've been doing for the past 2 seasons. The Lakers haven't been able to do anything with Sacramento. So I can't wait to see DeMar DeRozan just chop and screw the Lakers. Wade better than LeBron? Bron ain't Jordan, but he's better than Wade. I don't think so. I know he's played for 20 years, but I think that LeBron ruined Dwayne Wade's career. I think that Dwayne Wade literally put his body on the line for LeBron. He changed his game completely to serve LeBron, to try to give him confidence, to try to make him into a better player. He had to manage him. That's a lot to do, to have to manage a grown man, to help him with everything to say, to help him to get in his bag and play his game. He had to give him permission to play. We saw him pouting in 2011 because Dwayne Wade was going to be Finals MVP. We saw what he did. He completely point shaved and threw that series because Dwayne Wade was on his way to another Finals MVP. And LeBron wanted to be the reason why they won. So what did Dwayne Wade do? He said, look, I want to win titles. It's embarrassing what you did. Play your game. You need the ball in your hand, do it. I'll figure out a way to score. And I get it. Like, he had the hip injury. He had knee problems. Like, Dwayne Wade, he put everything on the line to win more titles with LeBron. Did LeBron honor that? No. He left. Eric Spoelstra came out and said he ran away from the Miami Heat because he was running from accountability, not from coaching, not from, there was really no reason for him to leave the Miami Heat. I would have respected had he stayed there and continued to build up that team. Yeah, let Wade retire. Let's figure out how to continue to win. We won back-to-back titles together. He didn't honor that. Bryce is trash as fuck too, if you didn't know, Tom. Look, Bryce is better than Bronny. If Bryce is playing like trash, it's probably because he doesn't want to play with his dad. He's like, Dad, don't put me in this shit. I don't want to have mental health issues. I don't want to play with you. Don't stay in the league. Retire. He even came out and said, like, what, do you guys really think my dad's still going to be playing when it's time for me? I don't even want that. I guess Bronny can be the next Mutombo with them blocks. I don't see Bronny being Mutombo. I don't see him being Shatumbo. Like, I don't see him being anything in the NBA. He's wearing a costume and he needs to take it off. Has anyone seen a video of Bronny playing in a pickup game outside? Every video with Bronny is with a trainer. It's going to be manufactured. He probably has never played outside. Growing up, you had to get your 1,000 hours on the playground. That's what you needed to do. You needed to hit the playground. You needed to do at least 1,000 hours. I don't think Bronny ever did that. We have players today making excuses that they can't do the 3-point contest because they never shot off a rack before. It doesn't matter where you are. Pick up the ball and play. Outside, inside, wherever. If LeBron really cared about his son having generational wealth, he would have funded him having his own video game league. Bronny would own. I mean, look, I'm with you. I think that Bronny would be great having his own video game. Apparently, he was #1 in Call of Duty. JJ is fine. He's making millions. JJ needs to be removed as head coach of the Lakers. I mean, talk about someone that doesn't deserve a job. What has he done? He was a terrible role player. He never won as a role player. He never contributed to winning as a role player. What did he do that even helped determine a game? Still waiting on it. I've never seen JJ Redick determine games. I've never seen him be the reason why the Clippers won a game. Never. I've never heard Wade over LeBron in my life. I don't care. I'm saying it. I don't think LeBron is top 75 on the 75 all 75 list. Okay? Take him out of the top 75 for ruining the NBA, for ruining the Lakers. Just take him out. He can be, you know what? He can be number 75 on a top 75 list. I can do that. Is that okay with you, Tyrese? Master P was better than Bronny, and he sucked. Master P was not good, but he damn sure was better than Bronny. They trash Russell's MVP triple-double king, average 17, 7, and 7 as a third option, but Bronny looking like D Wade. Facts. Keep cooking, Dom. Bronny's on the spectrum. Damn, Greg Anderson. Bronny's on the spectrum. I don't know about that, but he does have like this blank. It's like a blank stare that it worries me. It concerns me. Give me LeBum and Delonte West as a father and son duo instead. Oh my gosh, the comments. You guys are just cooking in these comments. Bronny's daydreaming on the court. He could have been in college having the time of his life right now, but nope, he's stuck living out his dad's legacy. Nino. Bronny definitely belongs in the league. Really, Nino? He belongs in the league? Are you delusional? Seriously, what do your two eyes tell you? Do your two eyes tell you that he's somebody that can play? Because I see bricks. I see a family shooting bricks. That's what I see in the NBA from the Lakers. Bronny should be dating Delonte. Oh, that's not nice. Let's not do that, guys. Make him say, LeBron's the first player to have 9 points on a Tuesday at 3:00. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. Like, we have to make every single thing that LeBron does, that Bronny does, great. And it's just, this is laughable. And to think, like, we have 82 games. We're not even into the regular season yet. This is just the preseason. And we're going to have 82 games of this. I wonder if he's even going to the G League. If LeBron is going to make fans suffer with seeing him on the court. Like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm putting my son on the court. We're going to play together as long as it takes to get him where he needs to be. Is LeBron just like a delusional soccer mom? What do we think is going to happen? Because I think that people that believe that Bronny is a legitimate NBA player are delusional. I think that they're seeing something that is not there. They're seeing a mirage of an NBA player. To me, the best comparison to Bronny right now currently in the NBA is Ben Simmons. That's who he's modeling his game after because they're both wearing a costume. Ben Simmons, he wears a costume on the bench. He's at the Met Gala. He's everywhere else but in the damn game. Bronny James, he's a part of a reality show, a circus. called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He's not playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. He said it himself. The cameras are nice, but, you know, like, what do you mean the cameras are nice? You don't play in the NBA for cameras. You play in the NBA to win. You play to be great. You play to win. You play to crush everybody. You play to make a name for yourself, but you don't play for cameras. What? But only somebody like LeBron could impart something like that on his son. But he didn't teach him that, hey, we don't quite say that. We don't say that we're playing for the cameras. We don't say how nice the cameras are. Bryce is definitely better than Bronny, but definitely not an NBA player. I mean, isn't Bryce like 16 years old, maybe 17 now? Hopefully he'll have some more time to develop in high school and in college before, you know, there's even a thought of him going to the NBA. And I wonder, like, will LeBron try to force him in as well? Will he be qualified? Who knows? Ain't no way LeBron is the GOAT. Jordan is the clear GOAT, but Wade is not over LeBron. LMO. Look, I get it. Dwayne Wade, he might not have accomplished as much as LeBron, but I think that LeBron robbed him of an MVP. Just like he robbed Carmelo Anthony of Rookie of the Year. LeBron's overrated and overranked, and so is his child. Yeah, you guys know, like, greatest father-son duo is Ken Griffey Jr. Definitely not the James family. Lakers having to play 3-on-5 for an entire quarter. Each game is insurmountable. I think that it's possible for them to lose every single game if this is what JJ Redick is going to do. JJ Redick looked like a wannabe Pat Riley on the sidelines. It was so bad. He had this serious, like, clenched face, like, all night. Like, get the hell out of here, JJ. You don't belong either. JJ doesn't belong. Bronny doesn't belong. And LeBron needs to retire. Just pack it up. We need to pack his shit up because it's ruining the NBA. Fans are not even watching. The finals have gotten as low as 5 million views when LeBron has been in the finals. How pathetic is that? In Your Face Hoops. Yes, this is Dominique's channel. Welcome. Nice to see you in the chat. Seems like he never played street ball. I don't think he ever did. I don't think he ever played street ball. I think street ball is what allowed LeBron to really hone in his expertise in head down, bum rushing the lane. He knows how to do that very well. Do y'all know this is the preseason? Yes, I do know it's the preseason, but an NBA player is an NBA player. You can't look like shit in the summer league, the preseason. Like, he's got to show us something. We need to see something. We're not seeing good shooting form. We don't see quickness in defense. We don't see the ability to play make. We don't see any of that. Hey, Funky Town, talk to me nice.
Turn up the pot.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You were muted. What happened? What'd you say?
I said you got these people. You trying to stir up the world, young lady.
You think so?
Good Lord! Shout out Uptown. No, I'm just joking.
Shout out to Harlem.
Hey, 130s in Lexington.
138 in Lex, baby.
What?
Yes, 138, 130.
That green line.
Oh no, I'm not on the green. No, I'm not on the green line. I'm between 7th and Lenox, baby.
Man, come on now.
138th and Lenox. Two line. The 2 line and the A line. I had to leave when we had the A train serial killer though.
Oh, daggone. But I said this months ago when all this stuff started, and unfortunately, I'm being proven a prophet. Like it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. You kind of alluded to it. They're gonna be bottom feeders that are gonna every time he goes on there, they're gonna be like piranhas. They're gonna attack him like dogs on raw meat.
You think
He
so?
He is gonna be out there with a wishbone necklace, getting his butt chewed up.
Oh my gosh! Do you think it's gonna be that bad?
Oh yes. This is preseason. This ain't even real basketball yet. This ain't real level. This ain't the level yet. When it gets out there and you got to remember, first off, he's a rookie. So first off, rookies gonna always get tested. He's clearly not supposed to be there, right? Because
but I don't even think they need to test him though, Funky Town. Do they even need to test him? He's taking himself out of the game.
No, but what I'm saying is he is an oxygen thief, but he's still out there on the floor. So he is going to be the target. You always go any sport challenge, whatever. You go to the weakest link. You try to find out what's the weakest link.
I just wonder if they're going to take a little bit of pity on him, though. He's like a sideshow.
Nope.
He's a sideshow with a blank stare.
Listen, I think, like you said, he's an adult, and unfortunately, he's about to learn a lesson. If there's any integrity left in the NBA, which I'm not saying that there is, but if there is, they're gonna crush his soul. They're gonna make him quit. They're gonna save his life by making him quit. Because if they don't, honestly, there's no way in the world that a person like that should be able to play in the NBA. Zero. There's no excuse for him being there. There are so many steps that you can tell he didn't do in his game to even be considered at all like an NBA player, like the last man on the bench on the NBA team. There's Giannis's brother has done more to be on the NBA roster than him.
He has.
Think about that for a second.
And that's pathetic. That Thanasis, he was actually drafted. So that's what people like to compare. And I think the comparisons are the thief of joy, but people like to compare him to Bronny. And I'm like, do you know that he was drafted by the Knicks legitimately? And this happened when Giannis was only averaging 6 points in the league. They had no reason to do this. Giannis didn't force this to happen.
He wasn't the leader of anything at that point.
And Thanasis, he was cut from the Knicks. Yeah. So he was drafted by the Knicks and quickly cut and sent to the G League, and Giannis brought him back. So Giannis had to become a star. He had to become a superstar to have his brother at the end of the bench. And honestly, his brother plays better than Bronny. From what I've seen, he hustles better.
No,
he doesn't look like a deer in headlights.
Defense, right. He hustles. He's out there. I've watched him. He watches from the bench. He's not just playing grab ass on the bench. He when it's time to go in, when he goes in, I ain't saying he's a superstar, but he has done more. The struggle that they went through to get to that level. That's what I don't think people understand about Bronny, is that he has, when you say street ball, Beverly Hills streets are not the streets we're talking about. Going down to a chain link, enclosed, concrete apparatus with 10 feet above the ground with a hoop, he ain't done that. I doubt he's gone to a public recreation center or whatever. He's at LA Sports or whatever's built at their house, and they play. And I'm happy for him. I'm not saying, that I'm jealous or whatever about that. No, but the bottom line is the people that are there should be, because if you're going to sit here and let, bring your kid to work, league type crap, this can get worse, because here's the problem. You've got the gatekeeping system that's in the NBA now. You've got Clutch Sports that's controlling the media. You've got the AAU, which is, quite frankly, all it is a showcase, because they're not really learning to play basketball. They're learning to shoot shoot, do my thing, do my tricks, dribble, all that other stuff. But they don't learn how to play basketball at like a position. They're not great at a position. They're great at positionless basketball because they have trainers and they have all this other stuff, but they don't know how to work and do what they, if they bring what they can bring. Like I know you know this from being where you're from. You know what you do well. So when you get out there on the court, and people who know you know what you do well. So they expect you, if you're the big man, where you're going to be. At least that used to be the way it was when I was growing up. You knew what your job was.
Right.
If you were big, you knew you weren't going to be the point guard. You just knew that. I mean, it's like, you knew you were running up and down. That was just, we knew that. So he doesn't. I'm saying that to say he hasn't had, and not just him. There's a whole bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to college to get to learn from coaches. And quite frankly, I don't know how many of the coaches are there now that are teachers of the game. And there's another problem. And it's, again, not just Bronny. They're not being taught basketball. You know, the UConn coach, the women's coach, he said it. He's like, they don't practice. They play more games than they practice together. And that's the, doing an all-star thing once a year, or twice a year, something, okay, great. But if you're doing that all the time, you're having these all-star teams that come together, the Avengers, you're not really learning how to play basketball as a unit. You're learning to play all-star basketball with an all-star team. But when it comes to, are you getting people who know instinctively, for instance, to make a pick, to set a pick? Do they know? I mean, look at how sloppy setting the picks is endemically in the NBA right now. As an example,
it's because offenses basically an offense can't even run these days without an initial pick being set. They need that in order to even start the offense.
Are illegal.
Oh, absolutely. They're just moving as they're
illegal.
For sure.
Yes, they're moving because, and again, refs don't call it, so they get away with it. Mm-hmm. But the problem, and again, back to Bronny, he doesn't deserve to be there. He's not anyway. I mean, he's not a G League player, to be honest. And I think people are saying that as an out. Like we'll give him an out. Like, okay, well, he can go to G League and we can maybe let this die down. But like you said, is LeBron's ego going to let that happen? That all that he set up, JJ Redick, who's a piece of crap, is all these people. The Lakers are a joke. Like they are a joke. Like I'm sorry. I mean, I wasn't always a Lakers fan. I'm really never has been a Lakers fan. I like Lakers players. Back in the '80s, I prefer the Lakers over the Celtics, but I was a Sixers fan because I was a Dr. J fan. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but the Lakers, I mean, that's the flagship organization. And for the last, how many years has he been there? 6?
They're deplorable. Yeah, I believe he's played 6 seasons total for the Lakers. I know he was injured for one of them. I believe that he faked an injury that first year because the roster was completely not where he wanted it to be. They had Lonzo Ball. I think they had Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle. All those people were traded away.
But those young people, those young players that were there when Kobe was. They were the ones that were drafted, while Kobe was saddled with them as young developmental players, dealing with young people antics and doing all the other crap that they did. Kobe had to put up with that. Kobe should have been able to. If LeBron could get rid of him, why couldn't Kobe get rid of him? Because that Lakers organization, that management, they're
it's putrid.
I don't know, mom and pop. They're a joke.
No, it's just rotten. That's the problem,
right?
And
yeah,
just like even though I get it, like the Buss family, they own that team, and it was passed down to Jeannie. The sons were idiots; they couldn't take it over. They completely fumbled the bag, so he gave it to Jeannie. She's running that team into the ground.
Yes,
nobody can convince me of anything. And I've been really careful about saying that because, I think it's great to see a female running an organization that big, but she's doing a terrible job. She's doing a terrible job.
No.
And honestly, the crazy thing about it is that she knows she's doing a terrible job. She knows that everything that LeBron wanted to do was wrong. She's come out many times and said different things, coming out against Clutch, coming out against LeBron. And somehow I think they have something on her or the family, but now they're like thick as thieves. Now she only says positive things. I'll never forget when she tweeted something like, oh, I wish that Kobe was here. He would understand me right now, or something like that, something along those lines. She's even come out and said that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, not LeBron. So I think that it's really interesting, like I said, that she's doing all these things to make him happy. And I just think she's hoping and also praying that he hurries up and retires. Everybody's over it. They don't want the story. I think that essentially Clutch can make it really bad for teams. So Rich Paul has the ability to say, okay, if you don't do everything that we're asking for, I'm going to make sure that you don't get certain players that I'm going to have under my management, or I'm going to make it difficult because this player that you might want, they're going to go here because I'm going to do. They just have so much control over so much talent in the league that they can push people into a corner. They can put their backs up against the wall, because at the end of the day, you don't want Clutch Sports as an enemy, because they just have so much of the talent under their umbrella. So they can do a variety of things. And I think it's really, it's interesting that Anthony Edwards is no longer a Clutch client. How did that come about? You know, how did that breakup go down and it be a good breakup? I don't know. Was it a good breakup? It was very quiet and nobody talked about it, but he's no longer a Clutch client. And I wish that somebody would speak on why.
If they would look at the signs, they're already there. This whole offseason, none, like you said, you had opportunities to get DeRozan. You had opportunities to get plenty of other players. None of them went.
Right.
None of them went to the Lakers. So they should know that Clutch Sports is actually selling whoop tickets, because the only thing that really Clutch Sports had was that they had LeBron as their, the face of the NBA.
Right.
That was it. That, if you break it down, that's their thing, face of the NBA. But all this stuff that's happening.
I just wonder though, is he the face of the NBA? I think Steph Curry is the face of the NBA.
No. I mean, but I'm still talking at that level. That's what gave them their power, or the perception that they had power. Mm-hmm. They had that type of backing. And yes, he had all these players. But if he had all those players, why couldn't he get any of them to come this offseason when clearly there was a need?
I'm sure that players that agree to sign to Clutch, they're agreeing for Rich Paul to mastermind their career as he has been able to do with LeBron, to be part of, to figure out a way to catapult them in some way. I think that also the agreement has to be, hey, don't put me anywhere near LeBron. I want nothing to do with this.
Well, think about that. Exactly. Because he fooled AD into doing that, and now look at AD.
Right,
he's getting blamed for everything that's going wrong up there.
Anthony Davis and any other player is essentially the shining example for what not to do. He's the example for saying, like, hey, I don't want to do this. I see what happens when you team up with LeBron. You get blamed for everything. You have to stand in the corner and shoot threes and be a spot up shooter. That's not the majority of anybody's game. Most people don't want to play like that.
So that's what I'm saying about the Lakers. They should have seen, like, wait a minute, why are we getting ourselves further and further along with this person when, like, again, when the stuff blows up about the PEDs and it blows up about the other, all these other things, it's a hand grenade getting ready to go off in somebody's face.
Right.
A hot potato, however you want to put it. And unfortunately, nobody else wants that potato. Nobody else. That's what you said. Like, the Lakers are stuck with Bronny. I don't know if they're going to just pay him out and let him go. I mean, the money wise, they could do that. But I'm just saying, I don't see another team being like, yeah, we'll take your garbage. We'll take your garbage out to the curb for you.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, I agree with you. I was going to play like the highlights from last night's game. It was like a 2-minute video, but there were just too many things that I had to cut out and I didn't want it to get blocked. So I didn't play this highlight video for you guys. But I mean, it was just play by play. He can't play. So thank you so much for calling in, Funky Town. I want to be able to read some comments and to take some more phone calls before I move on to the next topic. But thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to chat. Thank you so much.
You got it.
All righty.
Good night.
Good night. All right, guys. I threw the phone line up. If you want to chat, call in. But yeah, Bronny's not an NBA player, guys. We have to, I saw Nino's comments, our resident LeBron fan, and he's not good. Hey, T-Bert, talk to me nice, buddy. How are you feeling about this? What do you think about Bronny?
I'm going to be 30 seconds, and I get off quick. Bronny is 100% not an NBA player, and I see a couple people in the chat saying he's a D-League and G-League player. Absolutely not. He's not even a G-League player. If you watch any of the G-League games, those guys are clawing and fighting for scraps. They play every possession like it's Game 7. He'll get eaten alive there. He's not a college player either. He's just not ready. I mean, no part of his game I see is NBA ready. And you hit on something good, deer in the headlight. Let me tell you what I think that is. I think the NBA game is too fast. He has not adjusted to the speed. It's overwhelming. He doesn't play well on defense, defending the pick and roll. And then on offense, when he's running the pick and roll, he has no court vision. It's like he never ran a pick and roll with a big man before. He makes all the wrong decisions, and I'm starting to question his basketball IQ. So
I don't see any. I just.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I'm just being nice. I'm being nice, Dom. I'm being nice.
Unload, unleash, T-Bert. The floor is yours. Unleash.
And yeah, it's just too much. And I think his dad did him a tremendous disservice. And you kept saying the key term, mental health. He has no idea what this is going to do to his son's mental health. Like he's going to get destroyed by his friends. He's a young adult, so he's always going to be on social media reading the comments. He's going to get destroyed. He's going to get teased. It could potentially devastate him mentally. And just moving to the next thing real quick, this how you know how bad he was. JJ actually said, I like his soul and I like being around him. What the hell is that? When they asked him about Bronny's game, he said, I like his soul and I like being around him. Jesus Christmas. You know the kid is not ready. And last thing, and I'll let you go. Jeannie, what a disgrace. The Lakers are a joke. And if you look at the three great brains that she had around them, they couldn't take it. They left. He had Jerry West, Phil Jackson, and Magic Johnson. And people who were going to lead her in the right direction, tell her right from wrong, and digging her rear end when she's making horrible decisions and letting her organization get hijacked, they left. So she wants all yes women around her, and people who's going to tell her like it is, she don't want it around them. And now the Lakers are ran into the ground, and I think it's going to end like this. LeBron's going to retire. JJ is going to get fired, and Bronny is out the league.
It's going to be a very interesting time because when LeBron retires, how much power is he going to have in the media or the NBA? Is he going?
Zero.
Well, he's going to buy a team. We know that that's probably going to happen, right? Unless the NBA finds some sort of clever way to shut him out of ownership, or maybe he'll have to join like a huge ownership group and own, very little of a team. Who knows? But I just, for some reason, I don't see LeBron going away quietly. I don't see him retiring and, Bronny's just out of the league. I see him trying to find ways to assert his will. I just do. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I think that he's going to find ways to continue to abuse his power, to continue to manipulate the media, the NBA, and to essentially ruin what we have left of basketball.
Yeah, if you call this basketball. And I want to address one last thing. A couple of people commented and said, D Wade better than LeBron. I never heard of that before. Rah, 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 rah. Let me be clear.
They were in the same draft class. He had to join Dwayne Wade, who was also in his draft class, who already won a title, a very historic run that gets very little accolade. Like no one really talks about that 2006 title.
Oh, absolutely. But the people that are saying Bron is better than D Wade, I'll take D Wade all day long, and I'll break the X's and O's down. D Wade is way more polished. He has superior footwork to LeBron. He has a bag out this world. He adapted the old game that he had to the new school as he was getting older, right? His midi was way better. He was ferocious going to the hole, dunk on anybody, took on any and every challenge, never backed down. And he is the second greatest defensive guard in history. And LeBron was never a great defender. You give me D Wade all day long. Mic drop.
You drop the mic. Mic drop. You killed it, T-Bert. You cooked.
I'm gonna let you get other people in. Mamba out.
Thank you. You cooked, T-Bert. Thanks so much.
Thanks, love. Bye.
Alrighty, bye-bye. All right, guys, if no one else is calling in, I will move on to the next topic. I'll throw the number up there. So we have time for one more call, and then we're going to head into the Andre Drummond topic. Andre Drummond, I mean, this whole battle of the eras situation, it's starting to frustrate me a little bit, just because I just feel like every week another NBA player is making a damn fool of themselves. Andre Drummond is out here claiming to be the greatest rebounder ever. Really? Battle of the eras is never going to end. At this point, I think that players are just trolling and trying to figure out, if they say these things, that they can at least be trending on social media for that week or that month or what have you. He's not the greatest ever. I mean, let's be for real. What he does have, and I will say, he has one of the greatest advanced stats for what they call true rebounding percentage. That's what he has. So that's where he's getting that from. But it's just a little disrespectful to come out and say you're the greatest rebounder ever when that's just 1,000,000% untrue. How has his rebounding helped any teams win a title? Last time I checked, Andre Drummond does not have a title. So I hate when players say, oh, I'm the greatest this, I'm the greatest that. But that rebounding is supposed to help win championships. So when did you help? Like, you went to the Lakers. Why didn't you help them win a title? What happened? I remember Andre Drummond sitting out of a game because he had an ingrown toenail. But I want you guys to hear what he had to say for himself.
Best rebounder to ever play the game. I'm here to just do one job, and that's help this team win. You know, you may say it again. You want to record that? Yeah, I'm the best rebounder ever, ever. But just here to be a veteran guy to our young guys, really help this team win. Take the load off of Joel. Really just help our young guys grow.
What did Andre Drummond ever do to determine a game? I can't stop saying that. Ever since I heard Jerry West say it about JJ Redick when he was disrespecting, every single guy that ever played before him, I can't stop saying that, because what does Andre Drummond do to determine games? You're one of the greatest rebounders, but you've never won a title, and you're a vet in the league, and you've been a journeyman going to different teams. I don't even think he gets through a full season of play, but you're the greatest rebounder ever? Miss me with the bullshit, Andre Drummond. Go out and win a fucking title. You're back in Philly with 2 serial losers in Joel Embiid and Paul George. What are you going to do to help them win a title? That's what I want to know. I don't want to hear greatest rebounder ever. Greatest rebounder ever, my ass. When you take a look at this, guys, take a look at this. We have, who's at the top of that list? I don't see Andre Drummond. I don't even see him top 25. He's not even top 25. How? How? And if you look at the bottom of that list, guess who's hovering at 26? So out, just right outside of the top 25 is LeBron James. Bill Russell. This is a guy that you're comparing yourself to, that you needed to make sure that you repeated yourself. Oh, do you need to record that? I want to record you winning a title. I want to record you determining any game. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to record. I don't need you being recorded saying you're the greatest at anything. You're the greatest at sitting on the bench when you have an ingrown toenail, Andre Drummond. You don't determine games. You are not a difference maker. You haven't been on any team that I've ever watched you play on. Miss me with the bullshit today. Oh my gosh. Greatest rebound ever? Seriously, greatest rebounder ever. I'm waiting for someone in the chat to tell me how he's determined games. In a defenseless league, you want to brag about being the greatest rebounder ever? You want to brag this when you probably didn't even have to box out for the rebounds. Or didn't get boxed out. Let me say that. But you want to brag about being the greatest rebounder ever when nobody's defending. When nobody's putting their back on anybody and boxing out. Women are doing it, though, but I don't see it happening in the NBA. The women do it. They box out. Angel Reese just recently called them out. You don't like my rebounding? Let's go. Bitch, box me out. But that's not happening. People don't box out anymore. It's so funny because even Ron Harper had to come out of his shell. We never hear from Ron Harper. His son is killing it. He's the #1 recruit out of college right now. Dylan Harper. He's dope. Dope player. Really good. A legitimate. When he gets drafted, he's going to be a legitimate lottery pick, a legitimate player in the NBA. Not what we're looking at with Bronny and his bullshit. Dylan Harper he's going to be playing real basketball. That's what he's doing right now. He's balling. But Ron Harper came out. He's not even, he has nothing to do with being the greatest rebounder ever, but even he can't take the disrespect from people constantly coming out and saying they're the greatest, pounding their chest to say they're the greatest of something, and they can't even beat the people that are in front of them. You can't beat anybody in front of you, but you want to pop shit about being the greatest at something? How? How, Sway? I'm waiting. I just want to matter. I just wonder, like, what does it even matter being the greatest rebounder in this era? Why are we bragging this? We're bragging this with no titles to boot. It's shameful. Look at Ron Harper. Look at what he had to say. LOL, do you listen to yourself, kid? Jokes. And Andre Drummond, he was laughing, but you repeated it. You doubled down on saying you're the greatest rebounder ever. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you have Ron Harper, 1,000,000 years old, coming out to, contest that. He doesn't even come out to say anything about his own son who's balling, but he needs to address you because it's getting out of hand. It's out of control now. What is it going to take for this to end? The battle of the eras, it has to end somewhere. And I don't think it's going to end I just don't think it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to continue. I think it's going to be super bumpy and rocky, but something has to give. I don't know if it ends when LeBron leaves, because these players today are so brainwashed into believing that they're better than 90s basketball, that they're better than 80s basketball. I don't think they're better than when it was just an all-white league. The way that they play with no defense, I'm ashamed. It's shameful. Call in, guys. Talk to me nice. I'll read some comments in the meantime. Samurai Jack, I thought Smush Parker was bad, but he's MJ compared to Bronny. Alexander X, I love your comment earlier that you made. You talked about Bronny. You talked about MJ's son being better than Bronny. That's facts. He averaged more than Bronny. Caller from New Jersey, talk to me nice.
Hello, am I on?
You're on. What's your name, sir?
Oh, it's DK. Sorry, I was
BK?
listening to the strip. Yeah.
Like Brooklyn?
No, like Donkey Kong.
Oh, DK. DK. I thought it was Brooklyn. Okay. All right. Talk to me nice, DK. What do you think? Is Andre Drummond the greatest rebounder of all time? Or did you have a comment about the Lakers preseason, Bronny stinking it up, or anything that I said about the WNBA? What do you got for me?
Well, to answer the question on Andre Drummond, hell no. I will say this, though. I do like his game from when he was playing on Detroit and everything, but his game didn't translate to actual wins. He's a great rebounder, but that doesn't mean that he's impactful. Like when you think about players that are impactful in rebounding, you think of players like Dennis Rodman, you think of maybe Barkley. Hell, you even might think of someone like a Jerry Lucas, or like Wilt or Bill Russell. Hell, Moses Malone. Like, think of like the '81 Houston Rockets. If Moses wasn't on that team, they wouldn't even probably make the playoffs. But because of how good he was at just the offensive board at like a historical level, they managed to make it to the final. And there's a reason why he's a 3-time MVP. It's not just because of the fact that, like, with his rebounding and scoring, that he was just putting up numbers. Like, it was impactful. So, in turn, when I hear Andre Drummond speak about him being the greatest rebounder of all time, it's kind of, I guess I could say, it's kind of a sense being that it's very just like, it's not really a smart thing for him to say, because he's not putting in perspective on who he's playing with and respecting the players from the past that have put up the numbers and put up wins, as well as titles and championships for their teams, to actually show like their game is impactful.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest rebounder of all time. Bill Russell. Yeah. These are the greatest rebounders of all time. Not Andre Drummond. We have to stop valuing stats that don't tie back to wins. I'm tired of it. I'm not congratulating anybody as being the greatest in anything if they don't have a title. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I said, like, I like Andre Drummond, but I respect too many of these past players that have like put up stuff to even consider him like the greatest rebounder of all time. It's ridiculous.
I liked him before this. Now he's got a target on his back from me because I want to see Philadelphia at least get to the Western Conference Finals. Forget them winning a title, but if they don't get out of the second round, now that they have the greatest rebounder in the league or the greatest rebounder of all time, and Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid, they're going to continue to be serial losers in my book.
Yeah, I agree. I was also saying one last thing too. In regards to last thing too, he needs, like you said, he needs to win a title for anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know he's the greatest rebounder of all time. At this point, he needs to worry about trying to win a title, and he needs to probably try to actually work on shooting his free throws. Because one thing I can say that his game had determined that his free throw shooting put his team at risk of losing games.
A fact.
So not his rebounding, but his free throw shooting. So he was impactful in one way.
He's not a good free throw shooter. I don't trust him in the paint. I don't trust him to help to win ball games. I don't. I trust him to be injured, to be on the bench, to be crying about an ingrown toenail. That's what I trust out of Andre Drummond. But
yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in, DK. Great call, great observations, great commentary.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate being able to be on, and thank you for letting me speak on behalf on this.
Absolutely. I'm going to take the next call. Have a good one, okay?
Okay, you have a good night. Be safe.
You too. Bye-bye. T-Bert, welcome back. Talk to me nice.
What's up, Dom? T-Bert again.
T-Bert, the twin. What's good?
What's up, twin? Look, Andre Drummond, what a joke of a comment. Like, it was just disgusting. And I don't know what it is with this new generation of players just disrespecting all the legends and the GOATs of the game who paved the way for these idiots to make hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't get it. But number one, like, I've been watching basketball for a whole lot of years. I couldn't tell you who the greatest rebounder is because it's hard to quantify, right? Mm-hmm. But just for starters, Wilt was better rebounder. Russell was better than him.
Can you see this? Can you see this graphic on the screen, T-Bert? These are the best rebounders of all time.
Yeah, I saw the graphic, right? I'm just going off the top, right?
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, somebody challenged him one time, and he said, all right, I'm going to lead the league in rebounds. I think it was like 87. He led the league in rebounds, and keep in mind, Charles Barkley was only 6'4", led the league in rebounds. I like Kevin Love in Minnesota. He put up so many 2020 games. It was insane. And ironically, that was the year he was an all-star. He was arguably the first or second best power forward in the league. And that's when LeBron went to recruit him to come to Cleveland, the best rebounder in the game. But he put up massive rebound numbers. He put up so many 2020 numbers, 2020 games. It was ridiculous. And last but not least, my favorite on the list, Dennis Rodman. And he just can't compare to any of those five guys. Now I'm going to go out on a limb, right? I'm going to go keyword pound for pound. Mm-hmm. I think Angel Reese is a better rebounder than Andre Drummond. She attacks those boards with such tenacity, and she's so fierce and ferocious. It's insane. She has a knack. She knows what angles that ball is coming off of, and she goes and gets it. Pound for pound, Angel Reese is a better rebounder than Andre Drummond, and he's a joke.
I love Angel Reese, so I think she's a fantastic rebounder. She's going to continue to break records. She's going to start breaking her own records for rebounding, and I'm just so excited for what she's going to do in the league. And Andre Drummond is a fool. I think that, again, and I'm going to say this again, but every single time we can't beat the competition in front of us, every time that we've accomplished under a below standard, every time we're performing at below standard, we have to deflect. We deflect to other players. We basically rank ourselves at this crazy level where we don't belong because we can't do anything with what's in front of us. So we have to compare. We have to compare to the past because these people aren't here to defend themselves. They're not here to play against you, right? They're old.
That's why you think this young generation is disrespecting the old generation?
That's not why I think they're disrespecting them. I think that they're disrespecting them because they can't, they're not accomplishing enough, because they can't actually accomplish what the greats from the past did. The greats in the past, they have a standard, right? They've set a standard based on the records that they've created, right? So, you know, Michael Jordan sort of created this idea that greatness requires a three-peat and you've got to do it twice. I don't think that that's actually true, but that's something that became a thing, being able to three-peat, and how hard and how difficult that is. Being able to win multiple scoring titles, multiple MVPs, final MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, being able to clean up in these awards in 1 year. These are kind of like standards or sort of just goals that players wanted to reach after another player did it. And then when you see guys today, they can't reach those heights, they start making excuses. Oh, so-and-so was the only person with skill. Nobody had skill back then. Michael Jordan didn't compete against anybody. What people don't know is that Michael Jordan competed against the top 10 players in every category all time. His competition, I believe, was top 10 in scoring. His competition was top 10 in rebounding, top 10 in steals, top 10 in blocks. So he was playing against the top 10 all-time NBA players in offense and defense. It doesn't get greater than that kind of competition. So it really,
I love what you just said about Jordan. People don't understand. Jordan prevented 27 Hall of Famers from getting rings. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Mic drop. The case is closed. Even if, so like, I don't even believe in greatest of all time. I think it's a stupid discussion, but the truth of the matter is that guys today, they don't even come close. They don't come close to what guys back then had to, the competition level that they had. People say, oh, there weren't any teams back then. Okay. Imagine having to play against the greatest teams every week.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead
and I'm
of
leave
playing against, watered down talent across
absolutely.
the NBA.
And I'm gonna leave you with some food for thought here. I'm not gonna bring race into it. Hint, hint. Why do you think that other sports besides the NBA, they don't do that? Why do you think the NBA people do it? I'm not going to bring race into it, hint, hint, but why other sports don't do it? They honor their greats. And I'll tell you why this era does it. Because look at the last 10 years. Look at the way that people are raised. Talking about people that look like me and you. They're raised in this social media era where it's me, I, bling, 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 bling. I got, look at me. That's the era they brought up in. Now they make it to the league. They come into the league with that mentality. So what do they have to say? Oh, I'm the greatest of all time. Or nobody can play back in Jordan's era, but I don't know nothing about it. But I'm still going to say nobody couldn't play in Jordan's era. Because it's all about look at me, I.
Right. It's
a
damn shame. It's about
absolutely.
Like I think like in other sports, like for instance, even baseball, they don't do this.
And I wonder why.
Football, I mean, it's when you can't handle the pressure, when you can't reach the heights of those before you, this is what you have to do. You're deflecting. Deflect. And it's been working because people are running with these narratives, right? People are out here saying, oh, nobody was skilled in the 60s. There were 8 teams. Like they're just repeating what their favorite players are saying.
Yeah, and it's so stupid. Like you had a mic drop the other day. You got plenty of mic drops. You said, imagine how hard it is when there's 8 to 12 teams in the league and you have to go up against Bill Russell's team like every other game. Then after that game, you gotta go up against Wilt's team. Like, do you know how much harder the league was back then?
It's much
versus
harder.
now. Like, it's absolutely insane.
It's
and the last
just
thing
like
I'm
what we see in the WNBA. Think
Yeah.
about it. You know, they don't have that many teams, but and the competition is so fierce.
Oh, absolutely. And I got while I'm on now, I was looking at the comments. I got the resident contrarian riled up. Nino said, T-Bird, what? I got him riled up. I got him going. But all right, Dom, I'm going to leave some room for another caller or the next topic. I'll talk to you, Glenn.
All righty. Thanks so much, T-Bird. I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All righty. I mean, I'll throw the phone number up again. You guys can call in. I'll read some comments while we're waiting for another call. Nino, our resident LeBron fan. It's harder to rebound off a three-point shot than any other shot. Really, I actually think that that's the easiest shot to rebound off of because three-pointers are going to become long. They're going to bounce off, and they're going to be long shots. Caller from California, talk to me nice.
Peace, Dom.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you mute your YouTube background?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
1 second. Is that better?
That's much better. What's your name?
Oh, this is Brother Juma.
Oh, nice to hear from you, Brother Juma.
Yeah, out in the Bay Area. Yeah, Brentwood. I've been listening to you for a minute and watching you on the Other Brothers podcast. I think it's Man Down.
Yes,
you
thanks
guys
for
doing
tuning
big
in.
things. Appreciate y'all. Like real talk. Appreciate y'all. I just had a couple quick comments. I mean, pretty much just. Are you guys still talking about Andre Drummond?
Yeah. Do you think he's the greatest rebounder ever? What do you think is causing, multiple players to come out that they feel the need that they need to say that they're the greatest at whatever it is?
Yeah, well, I'm an OG, so you know what I mean. I'm from the Bay Area. I was born in '70. You know what I mean. So I'm not a hater. I love LeBron back in the day. Before he started acting a fool. But it just a real talk. I just think it's what you guys mentioned on earlier. It's a deflection, delusion, and deception. I really think it has to do just with who's running the era. And like I said, I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm trying to spin it onto him, but no one said stuff like this when Kobe was doing it. When he was the face of the league. When LeBron was the face of the league. I mean, when Magic or Bird or even when Jordan was the face of the league. And because they're gonna follow the head of the household, and that's who LeBron is. He's the head of the NBA household. And when he's gonna sit here and just like and be delusional and say all this crazy crap himself and act like to say that his son's better than half the players on his team or half the players in the league, and they're gonna follow that. But they know they can get away with that.
Right.
So they're following his lead with that delusion, with the deception. It's egregious because they know better, and to be able to make the amount of money that they make, millions of dollars. There's a few things as grown men, you have to be, or grown adults, you have to be accountable for. You need to be able, you have to be able to play your game. You have to be accountable for the words that come out your mouth. And if you're going to make that type of money and be able to take time off and be able to load manage, take some time to learn about your profession, learn about your game. And the fact that, that they can just spit this stuff out and then giggle and laugh about it, think it's cute and funny, it's a joke. These are grown men who are making millions of dollars. And if anything, they should be thankful because there's people before them that pay the dues for them to be able to do it and make the money that they're making now. To literally be in the league and being there for 3, 4, 5 years and make hundreds of millions of dollars and make generational wealth for their families. And they can't appreciate it. Like Draymond acting a damn fool, slapping people around and thinking he's funny and choosing who he wants to beat up on. He's a bully because he's not going to pull that on big people, on no one that is trying to take that smoke.
Let's not forget he was beat up by Tristan Kardashian.
Oh, through that. God knows what happened behind closed doors between those two.
He got beat up. He got beat up at a LeBron party by Tristan Thompson.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, but I was going no Diddy on that.
Maybe that happened at a Diddy party, maybe not the LeBron party, or maybe it was a Diddy party. Who knows?
Exactly.
Diddy in the
really
building.
That's real. It's insane. And for them to act like that, like with what's going on with the Lakers, I'm from LA, but I've been in the Bay most of my life. That stuff wouldn't have been going on when Kobe was there. You know, Magic, he is a company man. There's only so much he can do. But Kobe, he don't care. He's not having it. There's no way they'd have those trades going on. They wouldn't have got rid of all those players and brought, you know, AD over and, you know, and all that. You know, it just wouldn't have happened when Kobe was there. He would not have let it happen. And for LeBron to diss D Wade and talk about how they didn't have no players and they weren't really stacked the way they said they were, for him not to attend Kobe's funeral, for him not to attend D Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony, he's just selfish. It's all delusion and deception. Like you can't believe he's showing there's no way a grown adult, you know, everyone can look at it and see it. You know what I mean? He didn't win without Wade. You know, you can't play Wade down because Shaq made it, you know, he talked about it. He said that he wouldn't have won those championships without Wade. You know, Wade's like he stood up on his own, same way Kobe did. So it's just they really are just following LeBron. We make the world go round, especially, you know, of course, in entertainment. That's where they let us work first. You know, it doesn't matter what we do. If it's even killed, you know what I mean, from if it's even start, then we'll prosper in whatever we do. But they're always allowed us to be entertainers first because they didn't want to let us, you know, prosper in big business. But now, you know, they have the opportunity to do that. You know, and there's just no reason for them to be able to take the amount of money they have and just like literally just poo like Rob Parker poo on what, you know, on the people that came before them that gave them that literally paved the way. Just even, you know, not just in terms of contracts, you know, they're taking less money and supposed plumbers. Even if you are a plumber, you're doing a double job. You know, you're working during the day and coming and playing ball. That's not an easy thing to do.
It's a fact.
You know, and it's just it's ludicrous, you know, and I don't know where the game's going to go. I barely even watch games anymore. I've been watching WNBA before the WNBA when they had the other women's league, the American something basketball. I was watching it then, you know, before the WNBA, you know, and the women are just killing it. You know, I honestly wish they would lower the rim so the women could dunk. I mean, it'd be a whole. I know. I don't want.
You want to know what's crazy though? Do they need to dunk? So people say that. I think years ago they might have needed that. Like, hey, lower the rim, but the slam dunk has all been taken out of basketball. It's been replaced by the 3-point shot. So men are now playing like the women. I mean, and even lesser than the women because they're not defending. So when you have men playing like women now, are they supposed to now lower the rim so that they can bring the slam dunk back? I mean, it's been removed from the league. You don't even have real stars competing in the slam dunk competition. So when you have situations like that, I don't know that they need to. All that they need to do is basically what the WNBA needs to do is start rigging the games and fixing the league for Caitlin Clark to win, because all anybody wants to see is logo threes. So as long as she can have space to get her shots off, everything's all fine for the W.
True that. Actually, I would think the game, if they did have dunks, it would be more exciting. You know what I mean? I agree with you.
I agree with you. I would love to see
alley hoops and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to limit. I'm a daddy daughter. I got 2 teenage girls. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to, you know, say anything about, you know, I believe women can do anything men can do. We each have our reason for being, you know, different isn't better, right? We all have a purpose. But I definitely agree with you in terms of Caitlin Clark, because now one to her at the end of the season when they won, and then they try to label that like she was the one who created that thing. But the whole season, Caitlin was doing that to people, pushing people, knocking people over, like all these flagrant fouls. She throws her elbow she throws her forearm out every time she shoots a three. Mm-hmm. Every time she shoots a three, she throws her forearm out. She travels. She has she leads in turnovers. It's ridiculous. And I mean, the girl got skills, but they're just doing the WNBA is doing the same thing they did in the NBA in terms of Caitlin and LeBron.
Yes.
You know,
well,
so,
Brother Jumar, I really this was a great call. Like, thank you for calling in. I love to hear from new callers, and I'm so grateful that you've been watching. I have 2 other calls on the line with you, so
I won't hold you up.
I'm gonna let them,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
reset.
let them start cooking, and yeah, I hope to hear from you again soon. So thanks
Without doubt.
for
Keep doing what
tuning
you're doing,
in.
sister.
I appreciate you,
For
brother.
sure.
All righty. So Alexander, I have you up next, and then I have one more caller after you. So I just need you to get your take out in about a minute or so, and then I'm going to let Mel cook after you. Okay? Does that sound good?
Right on.
All righty. Talk to me nice.
Sure. Right on. How you doing? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm so grateful to have you over there in the chat doing your thing. Great comments. You're really engaging. I love it.
Right on. Yeah, this is fun. This is great stuff, and it's a comfortable space. And I don't call in the places often, but to get to the point, it's clearly LeBron's influence over this generation, this era has been evident. Winning has been devalued. Availability is low. When I was rooting for LeBron the first several years of his career, but when he started doing all the pregame dancing, this is during his first run in Cleveland. When he's picking up Danny Green and they're shooting each other with bodies and they're playing bowling before, it's like, they're still winning 50, 60 games. And I'm like, all right. And it just gets to a point to where we forget that he couldn't get past Dwight Howard to meet Kobe. And Kobe went to the finals 3 straight years with LeBron winning 50, 60 games back to back. And what really changed was when he went to Miami and just how he went. It was like he wanted to be wanted. He wanted to be recruited as from high school, like a college player. And it really set off a ripple effect in the league where Kobe just proved to you you can beat a big 3.
It's a fact.
You can beat them. And the fact that LeBron said, we got a super team up to beat Boston, who Kobe beat, it's like, man, it didn't feel right. It didn't seem right, and winning was so devalued. Players are less available, low management, player movement, nobody's loyal to see, nobody's inspired by Kobe to take 20 years of LA pressure. Yes, he wanted to leave, but fair enough, put the pressure on the organization, and sure enough, they made him happy. Saw the development of Andrew Bynum, changed his number to 24. And the stadium used to be lit, then it was dark. So, like, the focus was more on the game. Like, even the lighting was different that season. Bynum was coming of age. He got hurt that year. They picked up Powell, lost in the finals without Bynum. And, the rest is history. But then I look at, speaking on that era, then I go to Jordan. His influence, I believe influence is the most dangerous drug. And Jordan was so influential around the league. When you got Orlando, you got Penny and Shaq. When you got Houston, you got Elijah Wan, Ellie, and Horry. Even when you went to Indiana, you got Rick Smith, Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller. You went to the Knicks, you had Pat. Everybody was available to play because Michael was available playing. And even the way he played inspired everyone to play. And it just hints to where we are right now, how LeBron picks his spot when he wants to play, even in possession, sometimes in games. It's how can you call him the GOAT when you can openly admit and see that he takes possessions off, he takes games off. And I'll leave it at that just to keep it brief and get you to the next call.
Thank you so much. I do want to shout out this comment from Ace of Rage. The NFL is the shield, meaning it doesn't promote the player, unlike the NBA, where we see a player in as the logo. I think that that's very interesting because most other sports are more about team pride. It's not about the individual player. And the NBA used to be like that. There was so much pride in fans for their home teams or whoever their dad liked. That was a thing. And now it's just no longer. But thank you so much for calling in, Alexander. I'm going to let Mel cook. But thank you. Thank you so much for holding me down in the chat too.
For sure. I'm still at it for you. All right. Keep it pushing.
All righty. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Later.
Bye-bye. You still there with me, Mel? You still rocking with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What's going on? Talk to
I
me nice.
I didn't call the cook though. But I did want to say this. I hear a lot of phone calls coming in, a lot of conversations. It's not like a lot of people discussion. Just the current era of the NBA and they keep referencing a lot of things that they're doing now that it's kind of like a disgrace based on what they was doing in the 90s and before, which are all legitimate gripes to have. But I don't think none of those gripes really connect to Andre Drummond saying that he was the best rebounder. I don't think Andre Drummond is that significant of a player to deserve to get heat for him making a comment that he laughed about why he was making it. Like he wasn't even serious when he was saying it. He was just half serious, like if that. So he just saying it having some fun with it, man. That was video game. Big deal. He think he can rebound, and he can. He's a great rebounder. But everything everybody's bringing up, his availability, him sitting out for ingrown toe, him not winning, and then LeBron sitting out, and all these other things. I don't think it had nothing to do with that. Now, when I hear a player like LeBron say he's the GOAT, or Steph Curry say he's the top point guard of all time, or Draymond Green say he's the best defender of all time, or Golden State say he's the best team of all time, those things deserve pushback. But I don't think Drummond deserves no pushback, and I don't think Drummond is connected to all the examples we give.
I don't know that Drummond is connected to the brainwashing. I don't know, but I still don't like it, whether he was playing or whether he was serious. I just think the climate right now is to really, jump on people for saying that, or you're jumping either way. And so why would he make a joke like that? Why is that funny?
I don't know. He just not significant enough to be. It's like when Kyrie tweets out something, he's more influential than someone like Andre Drummond. If Andre Drummond would have tweeted out the same thing Kyrie tweeted out, I don't think nobody would have cared that much because his reach and his influence is not that big. So I like the pushback that Anthony Edwards got for his comment
was deserved.
Versus it's totally different because he's a player that the NBA is marketing. He's a player that the NBA wants to have a lot of influence over the youth. And Andre Drummond is not. He's just a role player that might could start for a team. He might ride the pine for a team. You know what I mean? So.
But what about JJ Redick? He was just a role player. I think any guy that's speaking out in the NBA could have some influence. Look at what happened with Dennis Schroeder. Who gives a damn about what he has to say? But for some reason, it blew up into something, right? Over his comments about FIBA, and it went to Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant replied. It was a back and forth between them. So I just think that anything that we say in this social media era and day and age, you have to be responsible for it.
Yeah, I mean, Schroeder tried to offend the whole Team USA, and it was Kevin Durant. And when Schroeder said it, it really didn't get a lot of push. It didn't get a lot of play until Kevin Durant tweeted it after they won the gold,
right?
And reflashed it, and that's what got all the press about it. Not Schroeder. Nobody cared that Schroeder said it. I mean, when Schroeder said it, it was okay, note taken. And then when they won the gold, Kevin Durant tweeted it and reflashed it, and that's what blew it up.
But why should Kevin Durant have cared about what he said?
Because he was offended by what he said.
You think? Oh, you think he was actually offended?
I mean, yeah, because he called Team USA out by name. Now, if Andre Drummond would have came out and said, "I'm a better rebounder than Dennis Rodman and Wilt Chamberlain put together," then maybe Dennis Rodman would be offended, and then maybe people would get pushback. But all he said is, "I'm the best rebounder," and he laughed about it. Who cares? You know what I mean? And then as far as JJ Redick, he was in the media.
You might have a point. You might actually have a point because, and you could be making a really great point, because if we notice, it wasn't anybody who was a top rebounder that responded to Andre Drummond. So you could be 100% right. Ron Harper responded, but not Dennis Rodman, or not, someone who is even top 25 in all-time rebounding.
I mean, the best rebounder of all time is that's the first moon landing. There's nobody that came out and put their flag on there and said, "I'm the best rebounder of all time." Nobody have said that. You get what I'm saying? So Andre Drummond was just the first to get there and put his flag out. I don't think anybody cared to have that fight. Nobody.
I don't know. I think Dennis Rodman, I don't know that he cares to have any title, but I think that he would be, wanting to maybe say that or to challenge that. If what you're saying is like if Andre Drummond is going on a tour to say this, let's just say he has a campaign throughout this upcoming season saying he's the greatest rebounder ever. I'm curious to see who would care and begin to challenge that. And what if they do go on a title run, Philadelphia? What if they do make it out of the second round?
They probably will. If you watch Draymond, he's been relegated to the bench the last 2 or 3 years. So he understood that the league was changing and he had to develop a 3-point shot to get on the court. And I don't know, he didn't get a chance to shoot up a lot last year because he was on the bench a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he picked up the 3-point shot last year, and his stroke looks really, really good. I'm gonna say it here first. Andre Drummond is gonna be if you ain't gonna leave him open he got 3-point range now.
So he could be an X factor for Philadelphia potentially.
Oh, of course, especially with Draymond. With Joel Embiid, it's going to miss at least 20 games.
So are you and I going to come up with a bet that whether they make it out of the second round or not? $5?
No.
Okay.
No, you can never bet on the NBA games because
point shaving
betting in Vegas. No, because Vegas is involved.
Yeah, I call it point shaving.
A slight amount of business. You be an idiot bet on the outcome of any basketball games. You got to be crazy.
Okay, you got out of it.
All right, man. I'll hit you up later.
All right. Have a good one, Mel. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. I think we're going to move on to our last topic, and that's Tim Hardaway. It's sort of like a hybrid topic. It's Tim Hardaway / Luka Doncic. So, we'll move on to that. I think it was really interesting. The Mavs made it back to the finals, and I think everybody's kind of wondering, are they going to make it back to the finals again? Is that something that's going to happen? I don't think so. I do not think that the Mavericks will make it back to the finals. Tim Hardaway, he's had a lot to say since the Mavericks title run. I do want to play a soundbite for you guys surrounding his son, Tim Hardaway Jr. It was very telling, and it's everything that we've been saying on Man Down about Luka Doncic. Okay, so let's have a listen.
He almost got a ring last season.
Yes.
Junior was with Dallas. I want to talk too, because we were talking about before you came in. He went from someone they paid that was playing a lot, and then all of a sudden just wasn't playing no more. And you said a few things as a father, and I'm a father of kids who play, so I know how that gets. First of all, as a father with a son in the game, what was it like trying to just keep his mental into it? And what were those conversations like during that time where he should have been out there and just wasn't?
I said, it's tough, first of all. As a pops, it's tough knowing that your son's supposed to be out there and you can help the team win. Mm-hmm. He knowing that he can help the team win, but for some reason, they're not telling nobody. Mm. Jason Kidd, Nico are not telling nobody why he's not playing. What's the deal? Mm-hmm. And that's the hard part. If a coach come to you, or if a general manager come to you and say, hey, this is the reason why I'm not playing you, I said, we could take that. Mm-hmm. We grown men and we could take that. But it's disrespectful to me, as I played with you on the 2000 Olympic team. We got gold together. We're in the Hall of Fame together. We all in this fraternity together. And you are coaching my son, and you don't have the dignity to go to my son and just have him in the room and talk to him and just say, hey, this XYZ, this is why I'm not playing you. Mm-hmm. And we cool with that. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, that's just disrespect to me and my son. But I told my son, I said, hey, I understand what you're going through. I could see it in your face. Just root for your teammates.
Be professional.
Be professional about it. Keep doing what you're supposed to do in practice, because you never know when your number might be called. But nothing, I'm gonna say this. People say when he gets in the game, he's supposed to shoot the ball. He's supposed to make shots. You both know
rhythm.
It's rhythm. It's rhythm. If you don't get the ball 3, 4, 5 minutes, you just playing defense. When you get the ball, you gotta get your rhythm together.
But I don't mean to cut you off, but those that don't know though, when coaches don't want to play on their team, or when they trying to ship a guy out, the first thing they do is throw him in garbage minutes when they know he don't have enough time to actually show what he can do. So he looks bad in those 5 minutes. So that gives the team the reason to trade them. They do that on purpose. They've done it to Allen. They did it to a lot of stars. So a lot of y'all don't know that. They put you in the garbage time because they know you're a rhythm guy, and one, they know you don't want to go in at all. So you look bad, and that gives them the incentive to trade you. Go ahead.
When you just sitting in the corner, you just go sit in the corner. I know Luka a bad boy. One-on-one, he's a bad man. But if like Hauser from the Celtics, when he comes in, what do the Celtics do?
They find it.
If we run an offense for you right away, right now. They running plays for Clay right now. And I hope they do run plays for Clay this year. It's all up to Luka, because Luka running the whole show there.
Right.
So if you don't run offense, your guys are just gonna stand there, and it's gonna be problems. It's gonna be problems, and people, you're not in rhythm. So when they was talking about my son not playing and he coming in and he not shooting the ball, well, first of all, you got to get the ball.
Yeah,
you got to get the ball. First of all, you got to have somebody set some picks for you. You got to run some offense for me. And then another thing is you got to get in the game. If you're not in the game, you can't shoot. You can't play. So it was frustrating for him to understand, to know that he could go out there and help the team, but for some reason he didn't play. So I had to talk to him. I was there talking to him. I was there consoling him. I was there just like a father's supposed to be, and making him understand it's going to be all right. It's better days to come.
So new chapter now for him in Detroit.
Yes.
Team that hasn't played well. They got a new coach, JB, friend of the program.
Okay. There were just so many jewels that Tim Hardaway dropped. He talked about feeling disrespected because he played on the Olympics, with Jason Kidd. Like, how could you, not even give my son the courtesy of telling him why he was going to be on the bench? Like, damn, you can't even tell him why he's unplayable. And, he talked about people criticizing him that, oh, well, his shots aren't falling. He can't shoot, blah, blah, blah. Tim, that's not true. We know Tim Hardaway Jr.'s game. He's been very effective. And we've already been saying the same thing about Luka. He talked about rhythm. That was one of the most important things that he talked about. It's important for guys to get into a rhythm. What I thought was unrealistic that he said was that, people were going to come, that they were going to run plays for Hardaway Jr. That's not going to happen. Okay. They're not going to run a play for you. They're not going to set a pick specifically for you. And his job would be to catch and shoot the ball in the corner. That's just what it is going to be when you play Luka ball, when you're playing star ball. It's an offense doomed for failure. I mean, can the Mavs actually make it back to the finals this year like that? No. Think about what happens when a real offense is ran. Under the current state of affairs for the Mavericks, Luka easily has to average 60 to 70 points in a game in order for the Mavs to win a title, or even just to get back to the finals in this upcoming season. He's holding the ball for the entire shot clock. And I want you guys to see what I'm saying. I'm not making this up. When we take a look at this data here, this is how long he's got the ball per possession. This is going back to 2018. Come on. 19.5 seconds per possession. Really? It only gets worse. almost 30 seconds per possession. That's what we're up to in this past season. It didn't go down either when Kyrie Irving joined the team. So we're talking about that amount of time per possession. When is anybody else supposed to get the ball? How are you supposed to make a goddamn shot if you can't get the ball? Okay, yeah, you put me in the game, but for what? I'm running around. I'm getting cardio. I'm open, but, I guess I just have to wait for the, a surefire assist in order to get the ball. I have to just be available to catch and shoot it. I get the leftovers. Essentially, Luka, he's cooking on the court so much that, he's going to cook up 3 and 4 course meals, and I'm just going to get the fat at the end of the steak. I'm not even going to get any meat. I'm not going to get any of the meat and potatoes. I'm going to get the gravy left over from the potatoes with no potatoes, and I'm going to get the fat, the lard on the meat. Who wants that? Who can play like that? Not a lot of people. That's not a winning formula. I know you guys know that that's not a winning formula. And there's plenty of people that actually believe. They actually believe that Luka Doncic is the best player in the league. The NBA is pushing for him. They're marketing him as being the leader of the FNBA. That's the foreign NBA. That when you're in the FNBA, that's Giannis, that's Luka, that's Joel Embiid, that's Jokic. When you're a part of that group, you're in a protection program. You're protected by the NBA. You're allowed to run over defenders. You are allowed to, travel, carry the ball, turn the ball over with abandon. That's what you're allowed to do when you're in the FNBA. When you're the leader of it, you can skate your way through the finals. I don't think that the Mavericks would have truly won that series against the Timberwolves if they were allowed to play physical defense with them. The NBA decided we want the Mavs in the finals. We want Luka there. We want the leader. We want the face of the foreign NBA in the finals. That's what we want. And we're going to make that happen. And then the finals, they decided that, teams were allowed to play defense, or the Boston Celtics were just that good. They knew that they would have to blow out the Mavs. They knew that they would have to play in a way that, they're going to attack Luka, attack him, cause him to get fouled out. And that's what they did. He got fouled out in the finals. He got completely undressed, completely exposed for his lack of defense. He's not what everybody thinks he is. I don't want to hear, his offense is so great, he doesn't need defense. Offense and defense is a part of the game. You have to play both. And if you don't, you're not going to win a title. I'll never forget when I saw Kyrie Irving physically had to push him forward like a fat ass. Like he had to move him, like, go play defense, defend. We need you to defend. I saw Jason Kidd talking to him saying, we need you on defense. It can't be 5-on-4. They have to beg him to defend. You shouldn't have to do that. But with the leader of the FNBA that's been allowed to do this all regular season long, why can't I continue this in the finals? Oh, I don't know, because there's actually some level of competition left in the NBA. The NBA finals is where we're going to see it. Hopefully. I just look at that usage rate. That usage rate is ridiculous. What do you guys think about it? I'll put the number up again for you guys to call in, but this is it's insane. I'll read some comments as well. Lakers should beg LeBron to play defense. I don't know. Maybe he's going to defend now when Bronny's on the floor with him. Nino from Mississippi.
What's good? What's good?
Nino, hold on one moment, okay? Hold on. All righty, Nino, talk to me nice.
It's so much.
What's
I
going
don't know
on?
what you got in your cup. Hey, you and T-Bird, y'all need to put some cups down over there now.
Oh,
Put
I
some
don't
cups down.
drink. I have water.
Water?
Yeah, I'm too
Oh,
old to
man,
be
they don't
drinking
fight the water.
alcohol.
Hey, you ain't lying. We can't drink like we used to. Listen, I'm gonna get to it though.
Okay, you got a
I
minute.
think you was kind of spot on. I think you was spot on with the Lucas situation.
Okay.
I can't really say much about that. I'm gonna go to Bronny. I agree with T-Bird on the Bronny situation.
Okay.
As far as I don't think he's ready, but I do see athleticism. I see his defense, but I see more. He looks scared to me. What they say, he looks scared. But the real thing is this Bron and D Wade situation. What are y'all talking about?
I think that Dwayne
Let's
Wade
be
is
for
much.
real
I
now.
think that Dwayne Wade was by far and away a better player than LeBron, especially when they first came into the league and throughout Dwayne Wade's prime. I would have never ranked. He was my favorite player, besides Kobe Bryant at that time.
Well, that's different. I can't say nothing about that.
I didn't even have LeBron top 5 back then. I think it was, for me, I had Dwayne Wade, I had Kobe Bryant, I had Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan. LeBron wasn't there for me.
That's just it. Well, I totally disagree. Bron did everything on the court. They could have won. And then we go to the Dallas Mavericks series. They didn't win that series. Somebody said because Bron shut it down. Yo, you said it. I called this series. They didn't win because Dallas went to a soft zone. And that's why Bron don't get a pass for that.
They didn't win. Zone defense has nothing to do with it. There was multiple, LeBron hid. He was hiding. What did the zone defense have to do with it? He stopped playing. He was hiding on offense and defense. He was nowhere to be found. It didn't have anything to do with zone. He was hiding. He got guarded one-on-one multiple points. There was one-on-one defense. Do you know that he got stopped by Jason Kidd? It was just him and Jason Kidd. A one-on-one sequence. It was just him and Jason Kidd. Look, I could pull it up right now. I remember it like it was yesterday. Jason Kidd stopped him on a one-on-one. LeBron was just driving and he stopped him.
This is what the zone do. But
it wasn't a zone. They weren't in a zone.
It was a soft zone.
No, it wasn't.
Y'all both right. Y'all both right. They were playing the zone. As a matter of fact, Mark Cuban, after the championship, went on first take with Skip and Stephen A. And they asked him what they were doing, and Mark Cuban explained the zone that they was in. But it was also when they were in man-to-man. Jason Kidd was, there was a lot of people from the Mavs that were able to stop LeBron about.
A zone happened. All I'm saying is that a zone is not the reason why they lost. The reason why they lost that series was because LeBron disappeared on offense and defense. That's why they lost.
But I'm trying to break it down to you, though. I'm trying to break it down. Why we can't have context when we talking about Bron? I agree with you now. He sat down, but this is why I don't give him a pass because
you're giving him a pass for 2011.
No, okay. But I'm breaking down context. I break down context of everybody say the smartest. I don't think he was in 2011. That's why I think he got better.
Okay.
I think when they brought the zone defense, what the zone did was they took his sprint away, but he's also a great passer. But when you passing it to Joel Anthony and D Wade wasn't a great 3-point shooter. So that's why LeBron created small ball that people don't like because they said, wait a minute. First of all, I didn't like D Wade and Bron playing on the same team because of the fit. But they found a way to incorporate Chris Bosh spread the floor. So what they did was Tyson Chandler was one of the best rim protectors. He didn't have to hold Joel Anthony. He could stay right there in the paint and flash in and stop Bron Wade the best he could. And they kick it out. When you kick it out to Bron 3-pointer, he was a terrible 3-point shooter at the time. I know you agree with that because y'all don't like it. D Wade wasn't a good 3-point shooter. Joel Anthony was a terrible 3-point shooter. Bosh wasn't even a good 3-point shooter. So that's what they did on the defensive side. So on the offensive side, they turned around and used the spread with Dirk. They threw it in the dirt and they hit threes when Dirk kicked it out. So they was forced to let Dirk play one-on-one and kill him. I don't think Bron was smart. Because he didn't go to college. That's why when people say don't go to college, I think that's the only thing he could have learned from the game was how to play a zone. Because, if you play some players in high school, they were so great. Even when we play zone, they were just too big. It's too much. But college would have gave him a better feel for how to break the zone. All they had to do was take Joel out, put Eddie House in, and put LeBron at the 3, at the 4. That's what they found out the next season. Y'all might disagree. That's my take on it.
Well, I have to tell you, I actually agree with you 100%. And I am one of the people that say, like, if LeBron actually went to college, even if he spent maybe a year, maybe 2 there, he might really actually have been the GOAT.
The GOAT, I think he's the best. I think the GOAT was there for MJ because he changed the swag of the game.
For sure. But I'm just saying, I don't know that he would have lost that many times. I don't know that he would lose 6 finals had he, developed his game more prior to coming into the NBA. But I could be wrong.
Oh, but the last thing I want to see, this is on my last point, let y'all go. Mm-hmm. The rings, or you just say he would have lost the finals. They would have lost because they wasn't. I don't think they was the best team when he lost. Even Dallas, they beat Kobe and the young Thunder. I think we ain't giving. I don't know if we don't want to give props to the era, but this era is tough. I don't think he can run through. I don't think no player run through this era. If Kobe could run through the era, I don't think he's sweet as everybody. I think it is. Like
I think Kobe dominates.
Was he favorite in? You think Kobe dominated?
I think Kobe would dominate in this era, and I think he would win multiple titles.
Kobe played in this era. We seen Westbrook give it to Kobe, and we know Kobe ain't taking no plays.
No, there's a different era right here. This is the I want to say toward the end of Kobe's career is when they switched from WWF to WWE. This isn't a pure brand of basketball. This is more entertainment. So they took as much basketball out as possible, just to add the entertainment factor in it. So you really can't tell, and that's why I called them, because Dominique had mentioned that people think that Luka is the best player in the league, but you can't tell who the best player in the league is because it's not a real league and it's not real basketball. Like if you put all these people in a real environment where it's just real basketball, the best player will be obvious. But in an entertainment league where you can handpick which stars you want to give favor to, and then you're marketing the team like you're marketing the player, and then that player gets the calls, and then the player they're playing against don't get the calls. You can't even use outcomes to determine who the better player is because the NBA is kind of dictating the outcome. The NBA is kind of dictating who they want to survive, right? So you can't even use that. And then the basketball is so fake. They're giving their best player the ball and making everybody else stand in the corner and just watch them go one-on-one. And then they try to use those numbers to compare to the greats that played against real basketball and real defense and real offenses and players and big men in the paint and throwing the ball in the post. Like all the elements of basketball was in that same gumbo mix. And now it's just the sauce and there's no meat, right? So
I agree with that.
Well, you nailed it. You nailed it for me, Mel. You completely nailed it. Look at what happened. One moment though. Look at what happened in the Olympics. We saw who the best player clearly was. Wasn't close.
Yeah, but I'm gonna see what y'all think about this. Y'all, I want both of y'all see it. But what we saying? Because I think I misspoke. I did say this era. I'm talking about Bron era. Bron still KD era. Kobe. You put Kobe at the end of there too. Kobe was in there. I don't think this is not Bron era. I'm talking about the Spurs, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Thunder. That's Bron era. I'm not talking about this. I think this era gonna be tough too though. But still, that'll make your point wrong about how they play. I think it's gonna be tougher because of the salary cap. But I'm
but it went to W. This might not be LeBron's era right now because he's about to be 40 and he's on his way out. But it was definitely his era when it switched to WWE. Like him going to Miami started the WWE. That's when it all got cookie cutter and candy cane, and the defense was being removed, and they was pushing him and marking him, and like all this stuff just got fake. It just got really fake, and they're not even hiding it. And the players know it too. They know it's WWE. I mean, they're pressuring the WNBA to change theirs to WWE. Like, and they're not even hiding it. Jeff T came straight out and was like, y'all supposed to let Caitlin Clark cook. Give her the ring and say the same thing. Right? Charles Barkley and Shannon Sharp are basically saying the same thing. Y'all messed this up. Y'all was supposed to let the money cook. Let her entertain. Like, she bought the millions of fans. Let her entertain those fans. Let her cook. What are y'all beating her up for? Why y'all defending her? Why y'all beating her? They trying to usher in the WWE and the WNBA. And that's horrible, man. That's horrible.
I disagree with that. Come on, man, down. Like, come on. You had the Spurs. Dominique, what you think? I want to hear you first. Now, you gotta disagree with that. I'm gonna put this on y'all mind.
Okay.
You got the Spurs and the Warriors. That's who Bron played in most of them songs. The Spurs and the Warriors now.
Yeah, but
come on now.
He couldn't beat them fairly. The only way he could beat the Spurs was with the super team. He never beat the Warriors until they was beat up and injured. His team was full. You know what I mean? But when they was evenly matched when Kevin Durant showed up, he only got one game in 2 seasons. Right? So
when they was even when Kevin Durant showed up, come on, I mean,
they were evenly matched.
Man, I heard you talk about basketball. I heard you talk basketball now. We talking about two. We talking about maybe the top 3 players. Wade wasn't. If Bron played with players who y'all trying to say he played with, if he played with players, then I'd have been like, come on now, bro. Yeah, he might have thought he was playing with players. Come on now, that was.
Well, hold on. Who on the Warriors team was on the level of LeBron?
Kevin Durant. Right. I'm the one to get Kevin Durant.
Wait. So Kevin Durant and LeBron on the same level. Is Curry and Kyrie on the same level?
Close. I give you close.
Yes. All right. Is Clay and Kevin Love on the same level? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Clay? Brian Clay?
Yes. And Kevin Love, yes, same level.
Okay, now you gotta keep going though. See, this is what make basketball.
It's Draymond and J.R. Smith on the same level. I think J.R. Smith is better than Draymond, but they're on the same level. They were evenly matched. The only reason why we don't think they were evenly matched is because the Golden State Warriors ran a highly sophisticated offense, and the Cavs ran 5 men out, give the ball to LeBron, high screen and roll. And when that doesn't work, let Kyrie go one-on-one, which is the same offense that Caitlin Clark runs right now with Kelsey Mitchell. That's why that's why it looked like it was unevenly matched. It's because the Cavs.
No, that's not why. Man down. I'm gonna tell you. You stopped at 5. You stopped at 5.
That's what I want you to do. That's what I want
compare the beat.
I want you to hang up. I want you to go to YouTube, and I want you to go to Kobe's breakdown of the Golden State Warriors monarchy versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and listen to him break down their offenses and why it's problematic for the Cavs and why they had to be damn near perfect to win. But there was more room for error with the way Golden State ran it because they had an equal opportunity offense. Right? Versus 2 people dictating the entire flow of the offense, and Golden State's offense, all 5 men on the court had equal opportunity to make a play for themselves or others. That's good basketball. So it was good basketball versus bad basketball. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
No, the Cavs were playing good basketball. Hold on, man, now. You see how he do, Dominique? He stopped at 5 players. I know you know what you're talking about, because I was saying this when it was going on.
Here's the thing, Nino. In the playoffs, you only play about 8 to 9 guys. So, and that's the same for the Warriors and the same for the Cavs. And I agree with Mel that they were evenly matched. I actually believe that the Cavs were a better team. And the reason why I say that, and the reason, and what not a better team as far as like, okay, like they play better basketball, but they were actually a better team as far as the talent. J.R. Smith can ball. And it just doesn't always look like that when you're playing alongside LeBron. But I can tell you why people believe.
No.
One moment. But I can tell you why people such as yourself and people and loads of other people want to say that it was unevenly matched. It's because as soon as Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, LeBron immediately complained about that. And the fans, LeBron fans, repeat exactly what he says. So he was saying that it was unfair. He even went into that final series with a losing mindset. Already making excuses heading into the series. Game 1, making excuses. So what are the fans going to do? You guys are going to follow LeBron and say the same things. And you guys echoed the same things that he was saying. He was saying that it was unmatched, then it was not evenly matched. He was saying that this was, a cheat code. That's what he was saying. Those were his comments. So when you do that and when you go out there and say those things, how can you even rally your team? How can they even believe that they're going to win? They won't believe that. They won't believe that there's a chance. I have to give my team all kinds of like insane goals, but if I don't motivate them, if I don't at least pretend that they're going to get it, they never will. And you always have to believe that you can do the impossible in order to do it. That's how the impossible happens. That's how people break records. That's how people win incredibly tough series. So the first time that LeBron had evenly matched competition, he ran from that competition. He cried, he complained, he sat there and said that that team was too hard to beat. That's what happened. And we can don't make me have to bring out the receipts. Don't make me pull out his post-game press conferences where he was saying that they were impossible to beat. Because that came out of LeBron's mouth. And then the fans followed. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I disagree with that.
You disagree with that? So LeBron never said those things. He never went into the series with a losing mindset.
No, he said they could have won game 1. I'm saying this. What I'm trying to say, did they not win 73 games before Kevin Durant, which everybody said Universal was the second best player, got they had a system.
I hear you about 73. I hear you about 73 games, but did LeBron even play 73 games that year? Did he even give his team a chance to compete in the regular season? It's not the Warriors' fault that they showed up to play. Basically, all you have to do during the regular season, if you're half a good team, is just show up. Just show up and play. They were available and they played to win that season. But regular season is not any indication of what's going to happen in the playoffs. The Lakers have been the 8th seed since Godzilla was a baby. And they went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago as the 8th seed because they were able to manipulate the matchups and figure out, okay, if I come in as the 8th seed, I can make this long run. We can beat this team. We can beat that team if we come in this way. And they cherry pick certain games to become the 8th seed. And that's what they do. That's what they even pick their schedule. You're not going to be able to convince me that they don't. They pick their schedule. LeBron has literally sat down and picked the Lakers schedule when they were going to play certain games, when certain teams, and he was cherry picking his games. So
it's about matchup.
It is about matchups. But they position themselves to get certain matchups. That's all I'm trying to tell you. When they have been the 8th seed, why didn't they duck the Nuggets last year?
That's the worst matchup.
They needed to make the playoffs. They needed to make the playoffs. They wouldn't have survived the play-in.
They could have, if they would have played the Nuggets is their worst matchup because they just want to play AD at the 4. That's why they lost. They got rid of JaVale now.
I agree. They don't have anybody to offload some of that down low pressure from AD. He desperately wants to get out from under being a center. So you're right. They don't have enough bigs, but they don't utilize their bigs anyway. They had Dwight Howard. Why'd they give him up? I don't know that they need JaVale McGee. I don't know what that was. I don't know if they need JaVale McGee or if they just need to bring Dwight Howard. He's athletic. You need an athletic big on Jokic in order to win. That's what you need. You need somebody to tire him out, to make him run the floor, to put pressure on him, to make him get out of breath because he can't run or jump or dunk the ball. So when you put an athletic big on Jokic, he looks pedestrian. Are you guys there?
I agree. I agree with what you say. That's what I'm saying. It's just politics.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that you were that adversarial today, Nino. I don't.
No,
I think
y'all were saying some good stuff. I just disagree.
I think we're convincing you that LeBron is not the GOAT. What do you think?
I don't really believe in the. I don't. That's my next point. I don't believe in the rings and the GOAT. Really,
So
I think LeBron the best player because of what he do on the court. I don't really believe one player is the GOAT because of wins. Because it's too much in team basketball. We made this MJ about.
Can you tell me though? Can you tell me and Mel while he's on the phone why LeBron is the best based on what he does on the court? What does he do the best on the court?
What LeBron do on the court? He sets the team up, pass. We're talking about prime Bron now.
He sets the team up.
And rebound, play defense. Yeah, he sets the team up. You can't stay in front of him.
Oh.
He's a walking mismatch.
But what does he do on the court? Like, what does he do on the court well?
What does he do well on the court, bro?
Yeah. That makes him the best.
I'm talking about prime Bron, Miami, inner Miami, Cleveland Bron. Drives the ball, deep, rebound, pass, smart, everything.
Yeah, that's tough, man, because most of the things that people give LeBron credit for, you know, as far as why they think he's the best player they ever seen, are roles that we get role players. Like, you know, we don't pay top dollar to our rebounders and defenders. We pay top dollar to our scorers because that's what we need for our best players to do primarily. And secondary, we need them to contribute with the rebounding and the assist. That's what we give our role players. Okay, let's draft a little point guard just to, you know, set my best player up, man. I'm gonna make sure Karl Malone get all these points. Let's get a little John Stockton to help him, you know, get the rest of the team involved. Or, you know, with Michael Jordan, you know, we'll let Scottie Pippen run the offense, or, you know, I mean, things of that nature, right? We'll let little Muggsy Bogues do it while Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning get all the points. So our best players get the points. Our role players set up the offense and run the offense and get the assists. And then we have Rodmans and Charles Oakley's and guys of that nature to get the rebounds. All right. But now we want to celebrate the fact that we have a guy that say, hey, guess what? Since I'm not that good of a scorer, let me go ahead and take this point guard duty. And since I'm doing so much on the offense with point guard duty, let me take a rest on defense. That way I can snag these cheap rebounds. And then when I record all these stats, let me celebrate that and say that I'm doing so much on the court that I should be the GOAT. But what's really going on is he's only doing things that stats can be recorded for. He's not doing the other things at an A+ level, like defending his man where you don't get stats.
You saying when Bron came into the league and defended his man? That's what I'm saying. Come on now. If you don't think Bron to go, I think that's one thing. But saying he didn't do these things, I think that's crazy. Like, but I agree with what you're saying.
Hold on. When did you think you stopped defending at a high level? What year?
Okay. Now I look at I do it like this. For a season, I say Miami, some point in Miami for the whole season. Now,
so he stopped defending in Miami, which was about his 10th year, right?
I'm saying he defended, but at a high price.
Michael Jordan and Kobe never stopped defending at a high level.
That's not true though. They was giving Kobe buckets. He was trash. They was giving Kobe stupid buckets.
Never stopped defending at a high level. I mean, he came to the Olympics and told Coach K, "Look, we got a lot of players on this team. I'm going to take your best guard and I'm going to shut him down." This is the oldest player that was on that Olympic team, Kobe Bryant. He never stopped defending at a high level. Neither did Michael Jordan. He was even defending at a high level as a 40-year-old with the Wizards, with no squad around him. Right? So they didn't stop defending.
Never.
LeBron,
They never quit. When you stop defending, you quit, just to be clear.
Hold on, we talking about man-to-man defense when your man got the ball,
I'm talking about any defense.
And the point is, you know, the reason why he stopped defending is because he felt that he was doing so much on offense that he had the right to take a break on defense and not guard the best man. Which is the same excuse they give Harden, Westbrook, and Luka, and Caitlin Clark. Anybody who runs that offense where they do everything, they score and assist, they always take a break on defense. And they got the perfect excuse to do it.
And they sit there and hide. They hide out on defense because they're lazy. And they want to talk about, you know, and then they sneak. They have like these little sneaky defensive plays because they're not defending anybody. So that's why they're able to go and have a help move. Because you're hiding on defense. You're kind of keeping your eye on the worst shooter on the floor so that you can sneak off and maybe help. But otherwise you're too tired. So you're just hiding out on defense, typically.
No, but we talking about one-on-one. Nobody tries. Them boys don't try Brown one-on-one defense. They don't go at Brown like that one-on-one. KD do now. But they just like Kobe. They don't go at them one-on-one. I'm talking about this far as the team is fit. I give you. I love basketball. He lazy on defense.
That's because he's not guarding. He's not guarding. He's not guarding the guy that cook.
LeBron was never a great defender. He was only a decent help defender, in my personal opinion. And he stopped defending somewhere around 2015.
I mean, I love basketball. I agree with that, man. I agree with what Mel said.
But that was 10 years ago. You don't see that as a problem? You don't think it's a problem for somebody that you're calling the best player to stop defending 10 years ago? And we're saying that he has the greatest longevity. He's playing so great in year 22. He's not defending. Greatness, you can't stop playing the game. He quit. He quit in 2015.
He defends in the playoffs. He don't defend the whole season.
He doesn't defend. He didn't defend in the playoffs either. In this last series that we watched them get gentlemen swept in, he didn't defend. He watched. He watched and he yelled at Taurean Prince. He yelled at his team to get back on defense while he was watching. Can you believe that? He was turning over the ball with abandon and he was yelling at his teammates when he turned over the ball. I have never seen that in my life.
No, I ain't saying he's perfect. Now he do stuff I don't like. I'm a real basketball man. Yeah, he quit.
Every missed assignment on defense, they don't matter if LeBron missed assignment or not. He throw his arms up like moves already. And I'm like, there's no way he's the only person not missing his rotation. If everybody else, LeBron's always perfect, even when he's not. I'm like, how is it everybody's back every single time? But not he is. So he gets that fake effort. You know, like when he was guarding Jokic in the Olympics. I was glad he did it. You know, that was needed at that time. But those type of efforts are things that you expect to see majority of the time while you're on the floor.
No, I agree with that, man. I agree. We do that all the time, you know.
Because majority of the time he's missing assignment and getting cooked and high. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts, man. Dom, I go ahead and open the line up, man.
All righty. Thanks so much, Mel. Nino, I'm going to bid you a good night as well. We're approaching the 3.5 hour mark. I'm going to close out, okay?
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you for the call. I'm sorry, but, Luka and LeBron are pretty much the same, and you're going to wind up saying that Luka is the best player because he's
Luka
playing
never
just
play D.
okay. I mean, he's
Don't
playing just
don't
like
do me like that.
LeBron. He's playing just like LeBron. He has the stats that are lining up just like LeBron, so maybe he's going to be the best player.
No, Luka is slow. No, you can't do me like that.
Okay.
Now, come on now.
Okay. All right,
I ain't no big Luka fan. But I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much for calling in. You're welcome anytime, okay?
All right.
All righty. Good night. All right, guys. Oh my gosh, it's come to that time. I'll read off a couple comments and then we'll close out the show. Oh, shout out to Michael Jordan fans are the best. You're up early with me tonight. Hello, everyone. Michael Jordan fans are the best. Thanks for calling into the show the other day. Are you interested in joining our fantasy basketball league with a championship ring prize? How much money is it? Because fantasy is fucking annoying. Oh my gosh. I was in a 2-year league and it killed me. I have to think about that. MJFB. I have to think about it. Fantasy it's tiring. Right now I'm also in a football fantasy league and I hate it. Just having to remember to pick who's going to win. Oh, basketball fantasy is much more fun, I have to say, but I don't know. It's a huge commitment and you go down like this rabbit hole of obsession. It's like, I have to think about it. I'll definitely let you guys know. Thank you though for the invite. I feel really honored by that. So thank you. Thank you, Pizza Time, for showing up. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Really and truly, I hope you guys like the show tonight. Before we go, if everybody can just do me a solid favor and like the video, subscribe to Sports Tea, continue to leave comments. If you're just coming now at the end of the live, watch the rest of the video and let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to know what you think about Caitlin Clark getting quote unquote snubbed for WNBA Rookie of the Year. Do you think that the Lakers will lose every preseason game? I mean, do you think Andre Drummond is the best rebounder ever? Was he playing around? Did he deserve the slander that I gave him? And Tim Hardaway, his comments about Luka and the offense that he's running, is that something that's a winning formula? Does Luka make players look bad around him? Because I think he does. I think he made Tim Hardaway Jr. look pedestrian. I think he made him look like somebody that needed to be traded. And that's exactly what happened, right? And lastly, will the Mavs make it to the finals again? Will they repeat that title run? Can they do it? But thank you guys so much for watching tonight and hanging out with me late or early for some folks. Really appreciate you all. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to Sports Tea, and I'll catch you guys on the next live, okay? Have a good night, everyone.